thought you.
Yeah. What? I understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest. That's why.
What's going on, everybody? Lloyd Jones with the Indie Breakdown here. Welcome to another Battle Breakdown. Again, the Indie Breakdown is a show where we break down all your favorite indie comic book characters, power stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an indie versus matchup, which is today. And we have 4 different battles this one, so it's definitely going to be the most action-packed episode here. But I'm not alone, as you guys may know. I have a wonderful co-host here who's going to introduce himself.
Thank you. I am overjoyed yet again to be here for another week, and I look forward to being here for the near future. I am Power Maximus. I'm only one of 3 hosts of the Super Breakdown, which is on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are currently on a hiatus, but tune in May for Star Wars month. We go crazy for our Star Wars months. I can't wait to get into it. This is 4. And I thought the bug problem was not the bug problem was a problem.
Man, so this is and not like we have some heavy hitters in this one. Like I think we're going over Jupiter Man second, or third, bro. Jupiter Man by itself, we had the pleasure of doing a video and an interview with him. Jupiter Man is a powerhouse, dude. So not only that, again, we got Damion that popped up at the bug problem. We got Alexandria the Great. And the match that I'm looking forward to the most, Vibrant versus Atlas. Those 2 characters, I had the pleasure of reading both of those stories as well. Those are some characters that honestly, they truly give that, modern superhero feel, dude. Like the designs, how the characters are in their individual stories, all of that really embody what we love most about your mainstream comic book superheroes. So those characters, the comments from the creators, stuff like that, I am looking forward to going over that match as well. So, yeah, we got some good ones. We do have some good ones.
Absolutely.
Strap in. It's 4 matches, y'all. Y'all know how we do.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I want to try something real quick.
Okay.
Because I remember when you had first brought this idea to me and of doing this, and I had, wrote something up real quick. So I just want to give it a try. See how it sounds actually on the post. Welcome to the Indie Breakdowns post-match commentary brought to you by The Super Breakdown and powered by Powered Podcast. Let's take a look at this week's indie matchups. Again, we have It's going to be a good one. Starting off first, we have Alexander the Great versus Tutu Pele. Coming up right after, Jupiter Man versus Reaper. And then following with another Nexus match, Damion versus Moloch. And then ending with the most recent reckoning of Vibrant and Atlas. This is going to be a good one. Let's see what we have. Alexander the Great. Let's see what we got for her.
That was clean, bro. That's the one. That was clean.
Yeah. All right. By the way, Lord Triage, everybody's favorite demigod, may be popping in halfway through. Family first. We got to handle what we got to handle. But yes, this is going to be great. So we have Alexander the Great here. Can everybody see this? Is this good? Let's see. If you guys can't see it, just let me know. I'll make it bigger for y'all. All right.
And the stream on my end is catching up, so I haven't. I'm not sure yet, but
here we go.
There we go. Yeah, it did pop up. Yeah, it looks good.
Boom. All right. So, Lloyd, if you don't mind, were there any particulars to this matchup? Any specificities?
In the comments for it, unfortunately not. So we're gonna have to wing this one. And in regards to any conditions or anything like that, all of these are pretty kind of base, right? Where the location here is Themyscira, random encounter, winner by death or KO. Real simple. All 4 of them are going to be the case here. So no special conditions to this matchup or anything like that. Very just 2 action figures going at it, right? So yeah, nothing big.
All right, let's go for it. Let's take a look. Let's start off with Alexander the Great. She is sitting. We're looking at her strength here first, right? So here, can I pop this up?
Okay. I'll just say I got it up too.
Oh, you got it up too? All right. Mm-hmm. Let's do that instead with you having it up, because for some reason it's hard for me to see on my side. Don't know why. It's weird. Because it worked last week. But yeah, go ahead. So if you don't mind, take it away.
Okay. So of course, as you guys know, we do have a power system within here. The images designed by Haikyuu based on the tier sheets that was provided by Tavis in the group originally there, and we're going to go based off of that. So if you guys want to take a look on IndieBreakdown.com for it, or of course in the featured post on the group page, Indie Breakdown versus on Facebook. So we're going to start from the top as we always do. We're going to go ahead and do strength. She sits at a 7, which has her being able to lift 100 tons plus. All right. Next up, we have intelligence. She is sitting at a 4, so she is gifted. This is Luke. The Amazon is a horrible area. Pele will flood it. Dang. All right, we getting in already. So we got speed. Mm-hmm. She sits at 5, so supersonic. So she's at Mach 2 orbital velocity somewhere in there, which is pretty decent. Durability, we say pretty decent, but good God, right? None of us moves at that speed. Like actually putting that into context is insane. But durability, she sits at a 5, which puts her at bulletproof. Dense skin can basically repel most weapons. Her agility is going to be insane. Relativistic, so she can react and move near the speed of light. Now, energy projection, nothing special. It does say 1, but AKA there's none. She doesn't project any type of energy or anything of that sort. And for a 5 on fight ability, she is a master of a single form of combat. So very I say this not disrespectfully, but kind of almost mid stats, right? With nothing it's nothing special per se. Again, that strength is really good and that agility is really good, but isn't enough to keep up with Tutu there in regards to all those stats. Because I know last week we had some stats that were absolutely insane. We had people that was doing warp speed, so on and so forth. So she's okay. She's okay. I get Wonder Woman vibes from her.
Right. Big time.
Wonder Woman vibes.
So that's why I think Themyscira is a nice little setting for them.
And you know what? Initially looking at the two, and when you guys look at Tutu here in a second, I'm reminded of Flashpoint Paradox with Wonder Woman versus Aquaman. That's what I'm getting.
Damn it! You stole it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was the next place I was going. That's exactly where I was going.
I'm so sorry. But man, I mean, bro,
you're right. You're right.
I'm so sorry. But
no, you're absolutely right. So yeah, if you guys want to take a look at Tutu here, like he said, it definitely reminiscent. This battle is reminiscent of that Elseworld kind of vibe that it was Flashpoint. Yeah, Flashpoint. Yeah,
Bro.
definitely.
Too clean.
So I mean, we'll see. We got to see what happens, because if I remember correctly, that ended with
Aquaman got his head
somebody
chopped off.
that ended with Mira getting her head cut off. So
Yeah. Oh, right, Mirror. I said Aquaman. Jesus. Aquaman got gutted, I think, didn't he?
I think the final battle. Yeah, I think they killed
Yeah.
each other in the final battle. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
let's. Yeah.
for powers. Do you want to do powers, or should we
Oh,
just?
you're right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Let's jump down to powers. You're right. There we go. Yep. Now we're looking at Alexander the Great here. Let's see. So we're looking at. Let's see. She has no equipment. So straight powers: flight, accelerated healing factor, photographic memory, lie detector, telescopic vision, resistance to toxins and disease, and precognition and clairvoyance. You know what? I remember she was a part. She was a part of the
Bug problem.
Yeah, she was a part of the bug problem too, and it just sucks because the verdant mother, she came through and soloed.
So we didn't get to see her much in action. So this will be
and Damion either. We didn't get to see him in action at all either, really. But yeah, so this is like, I feel like this is a very kind of standard kind of superhero power set.
That's the word I was looking for. Standard. I said mid cautiously. Standard is the better. Again, I did not mean that disrespectfully, y'all. But yeah, standard superhero set for sure.
Yeah, it's not too crazy, but it's definitely a force. Definitely a force. Not, she's not, breaking wormholes into different dimensions, but this is definitely a decent power set. Like, I'd be set with this power set here. So let's take a look at Tutu Pele. Let's see what she cooking with.
And please, y'all, drop who y'all think would win in the chat while we're going over these powers and stuff, and let us know what y'all think. So,
no, I'm sorry. I was laughing at Dre. I'm awoken and worlds will fall upon my arise.
Oh,
man.
He said, I am here.
All right. So
strength wise for Tutu, she's sitting at a 6. And a lot of the stats I'm seeing here, just on quick glance, she's sitting at a 6 for a lot of these stats here. So strength, she can lift between 75 to 100 tons. So pretty close for each of those. Thank you. Which is one under Alexandria, if I remember correctly. Then we have a 6 for intelligence, so she is stronger than her, if I remember correctly. Her intelligence is at a 6, making her a super genius. Then we have speed of 5, and they're both at a 5 with supersonic Mach 2 orbital velocity. Durability sits at a 6, so she can withstand poisons, extreme temperatures, and concussive attacks. Which although Alexandria the Great was at a 5, in her power set, she is resistant to toxins and diseases. So they kind of balance out there in regards to that. Now, the agility portion is where Alexandria is going to have the toughest part, because agility for Tutu has her at reality breaking and can exist in multiple places at once and move when time is frozen. So she is quick.
Ooh.
She's quick. Okay. Energy projection, another area where Alexandria is going to be lacking, because she has no energy projection, whereas Tutu, on the other hand, sits at a 6, able to discharge multiple forms of energy, and we'll dive into that a little bit more since Dre is here to speak on that. And I am curious to know what energy she's able to project. And then last but not least, we have the fighting ability, which again, Alexandria is lacking just barely, but enough. With Tutu at a 6, that means she's a master of several forms of combat. And in comparison, once more, Alexandria is only a master of one form of combat. So definitely, initially looking, she might be in a little bit of trouble, but we'll see based on the power set specifically what she's working with. God, in comparison, she's got equipment, she's got powers. Lord have mercy.
Ooh, she's
more
coming out like Batman in here.
Let's
see. For equipment, we got Trident of Endless Sight. Allows her to see the weakness in any structure and can see key events that could help within 10 seconds of her own participation. Must be county utilize.
There's a caveat. There's a
You know,
caveat to it.
I like this. First off, I want to say I love this. The fact that they not only it's like, all right, boom, here's the equipment, but here is I feel like this is a really good description of what it can do, what its limitations are. That's awesome. I like that a lot.
And so, with that being said, they slick both have a type of precog.
Yep.
Now, yeah, that'll be a good conversation to figure out which one's better. Now, we don't know, and if Mr. Mason, if Rashawn is in here to speak to the character, that'd be glorious. Because I know we talked a little bit about that precog last time around. I wanna be able to dive a little deeper on that. But yeah, that's it's gonna be good. Okay.
So now looking at powers, immunity to poison. Okay, they're both they're both rocking out on that. Can breathe on the water. Copy. Swim at hypersonic speeds.
Okay.
That is insane. All right, that's that's like double sonic booms underwater.
That's insane.
Control and generate fire. Ooh, that's interesting. Lava and thermal vents underwater, and magic.
Okay. All right. That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Fighting on Themyscira. And I think he already said something along the lines of being able to just flood that joint.
Yeah, she's trying to flood it. I mean, but I'm looking at I'm looking at the powers here. Doesn't say that she can control water though.
Who? Oh, you're right. I'm bugging. Can
control and generate fire.
Water.
And I'm pretty sure this means control and generate fire as well as lava and thermal vents from underwater. But that right there, that could also be a problem because honestly, she could just blow up the whole damn island if she wanted to.
Right.
Or I mean, depending on what her magic is, she could use the magic to control the water.
If you could, Dre, could you elaborate on the type of magic Tutu is utilizing here?
So let's see. Her trident can manipulate, concentrate, and distribute multiple forms of energy. And let's see. He says they're trying her trident allows her to see up to the time limit on her own perception. The minutes, so pretty much, just giving a bigger definition of what it says in there about her trident, giving 10 minutes. Right, there's 10 seconds or 10 minutes in that. That says 10 seconds. So says here, man, why can't I see this? Everything. Oh, that's why. Duh. There we go. That's better. It's been a day. Allows her to see up to the time limit of her own perception. But the minute that she sees something different after the time limit is up, she can also see that as well. Oh, okay. So she can use it back to back.
Right.
So as soon as that time limit is up, boom, she can use it again. Oh, so as soon as she sees that 10 seconds and forward, so she can boom, another 10 seconds, boom, another 10 seconds.
Okay, that's not bad. So
that's solid. Okay,
base to base, just based on what we know right now, without further elaboration, who are we thinking so far before we deliberate?
Honestly, I don't know. I honestly think this might be a good one.
Okay.
So they're fighting on Themyscira. For those of you who don't know, let's Themyscira is the island in which the Amazons in DC are from. So just in case you didn't know, so this is that's kind of like where they're fighting at. It's middle island, is rocky mountains, as well as just like wide open plains. The size of the island is never really described.
No.
In DC, it's usually just there.
But if y'all see Wonder Woman or Red DC, y'all know it. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah. So let's see. He says her magic revolves around the elements of themselves. She can manipulate pretty much all of them. Certain ones are more potent in certain atmospheres, but she can control and manipulate all the elements. Okay, pretty much. The elements, regardless, it's
In a host body or not? Is that what that's supposed to say? Host body?
All right.
Because I am curious now. So, in regards to that, are we saying hypothetically, if somebody was made of fire or water or anything of those things, they can control that? Is that what we're alluding to with that? She ain't here blood bending, bro.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. So, like, if she ran at someone like incendiary, would she be able to control his fire? See, and with that,
that's perfect that you asked that because incendiary is also Dre's character.
Yeah, that's I've been doing my research.
Okay.
Especially because this man keeps making broken characters,
Man,
so I got to do my research.
I'm ready.
But no, that'll be really interesting. So, let's see. I'm taking a look. I don't know. What do you think?
I'll be honest.
I think this is going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. I gotta give it to Tutu. Her agility alone. There's literally nothing in Alexandria's arsenal. She can hit harder, sure, but she's not. Is she more durable? She's not more durable, and she's not faster. That agility is going to eat her up. They are the same speed per se, but that agility is gonna eat her up. And then, of course, again, with being able to control the elements, right? So I know specifically it wasn't said on there that she could control water, but if she can control all the elements based on what we're seeing here, she's cooked, right? Tutu has the ability, or again, let's take water out of it because it's not on the paper. It's not on the card, right? In regards to generating fire, generating lava, and the thermal vents underwater. And again, well, you know what? Magic is where he's saying she can control the elements from. So it's elemental magic on top of being able to generate fire, lava, and thermal vents. So she is creating the fire, the lava, and the thermal vents. She's either, if we use the elemental magic to utilize the water that's there to flood the island, whether she decides to generate lava on the island, you know what I mean, or fire on the island, she's burning the place up. Alexandria has nowhere to go but in the air, right? Or forced down into the water, where obviously Tutu would have the advantage. And that's the healing factor might come in. The photographic memory will help her be able, and precog will help her be able to navigate and avoid certain scenarios, right? The question is like, if she decides to try to put the whole island on fire, is she able to pull a Hulk move and clap and cause the fires to go out? You know what I mean? That type of situation. But how do you fight back against lava? How do you fight back against elemental magic that could cause, the flooding and stuff like that? Again, no personal harm on that, maybe, right? Now Tutu is able to control the battleground, literally, right? Where they're going to be fighting at. And so with her having an advantage in water, that's probably, if I'm Tutu, my goal is to get you where I'm most advantageous, right? I'm gonna get you in the water, and you're not moving faster than me in the water. She not only has, what was her speed again? She not only has a 5 in speed with supersonic, right? She also is able to move, specifically swim at hypersonic speeds. Alexandria is not, right? So if they're even in speed outside of the water, and then she gets her in there, there's really nothing. There's really no fighting back in that, because we don't see anything on here that's defending her against being able to hold her breath for extended periods of time, right? She's getting knocked, if not killed, she's getting knocked out unconscious underwater from lack of oxygen, right? Even if they go blow for blow, and again, moving speed, you're going to be slowed down underwater point blank. Most people anyway are slowed down underwater point blank period, right? And there's nothing. And Alexandria the Great, I love this character. She looks amazing. There's nothing in her arsenal for me. So, just looking, I got to give it to Tutu.
All right. So I mean, that's absolutely solid. I mean, you're right. And of course, me, I got to play devil's advocate on this one.
Absolutely.
So I feel like flight has her flight. I feel like her flight would be one at her most advantage, right?
Mhm.
You're dealing with somebody. You're on an island that's surrounded by water. You're dealing with somebody who can control the elements as well. Now, I guess it would have to. What are the conditions of her flight? Is she just Superman, where she just levitates? Is nothing. Not,
Mm.
it's not like, oh, she generates the air around her, whatever. She's just Superman flight. Can just move through the air. I feel like that would be the most advantageous for her.
Mhm.
Seeing as how we got somebody that I'm pretty sure she control air as well.
Yeah.
But I can definitely seeing that flight being able to take Tutu out of, pretty much, forget about the water, take her out the water, take her off the land, get her in the air. Right, that precog and that clairvoyance, because remember, it's not just precog, which is just being able to see just a little bit in advance, but it's full on clairvoyance as well.
Mhm.
So I feel like that mixed in with the flight, we don't have to worry about that resistance to toxins and diseases.
Mm-mm.
That's really not going to do anything. But I feel like at most the flight and the precog would be able to help her, and then all she has to do from there is just really work on doing damage with her hands.
Yeah.
I feel like she could, but it would be a struggle. She would,
But that speed, that agility.
that fight IQ would have to come into play. But that's where I feel like the precog and clairvoyance
You're right. You're
cancels
right.
that out.
Yeah. That's tough. Damn, you're good at this devil advocate. Hold on. Rashad, we need to know if you're here. If you're here, we definitely need to know the intricacies of the clairvoyance and stuff like that, because how far ahead is she able to perceive events? How far? Because again, Tutu has a limit. It's 10
Yeah,
seconds
10
and can
seconds
be utilized back to
back
back.
to back.
But I would dare say there might still be, like, because it's not constant, right? There's still a time limit, right? So there is, if this was if this is a comic book, if this was an anime or something like that, it's like, oh, the briefest of moments I can, you can only use it for 10 seconds. A hero would figure out a way right there in that split second moment and stuff. But for the clairvoyance, for I almost called her Mega Woman. Oh my God, Alexandria the Great. What is that there? Sorry. Let's see.
So I'm
Bianca
taking.
Belair is cooked. No,
He didn't.
Hey, yo.
Wow.
I mean, but now
No.
that you say it, you
That
hear the
yeah.
fan casting for you, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So he also says she is a villain, so she doesn't care about surface life whatsoever. So she gonna be going hard in the paint, right?
Right.
So I feel like as Alexander the Great, she is labeled a hero.
Yeah.
So that means
She's
I feel like she would match that as a hero. She would match that in the opposite respect of, hey, right here.
Yes. Dang.
Oh,
And you know what?
yeah, he did say
yes.
that.
He said
They
that.
did say that last time. She can see all the way to the end of the fight, based off of the what was it? It was based off of the decisions that were made in that moment.
Right.
They can see the final. She can see the final result of any decision that's made in that moment.
Now here's the problem with that. And please, I might be lacking a little understanding. Right. Is the future that she sees a guaranteed situation or a possible situation? Right. Because I know, like, I think I used this example before too. Nicolas Cage and Next. Right.
Yeah,
Where it's like,
you used it for the bug problem.
This is how it happens. Right. If I go right, this is how it happens. Or does she just see, if I go into this fight, this is the outcome of this fight. I can't change that.
And if I may speak for Ray, I remember from the bug problem, it was said that it is based off of decision. So it is if I go left, this is gonna happen. If I go right, this is gonna happen. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ray.
Here's the tough part. And although that might be the case, here's the tough part. And again, Dre, I'm making assumptions for your character here. Correct me where I'm wrong. If I'm Tutu, and if she can do this, tell me if she can. This sadistic character controlling the elements in this lowly island in the middle of nowhere. I'm creating elemental avatars. I'm doing like Spider-Man Far From Home, right? The elementals popping up, right? I'm on every side of the island with each of those, attacking it with that particular element. I also have precog, right? So I know that in a second you're going to try to use your precog to your advantage to navigate through this stuff like that. So I would just do my best to overwhelm you, right? Into focusing on, dang, I need to focus on this thing or it's going to destroy this. Because although you have it, there's still a level of decision making that needs to happen. And in those briefest moments, you're going to slip up. You're going to be overwhelmed in that. And now, while you're focused on the avatars, here I come, right? Well, not to get too far in. That's kind of my starting point. Like, if I'm here on Themyscira, you're a problem. I don't care for any of this. I'm destroying all of you in all of this. You have no help, no backup, because obviously we don't have no battlefield removal, no team ups, none of that stuff.
So I just want to ask: did we say the island was populated?
We didn't.
So
for simplicity's sake, though. But
I'm just saying, if it's not populated,
let's do it. You know what? We didn't say it wasn't. Talk to me. It is
so. Oh, it is populated.
Let's do it. This is what we're here for.
Yeah, if it is populated, then I'm gonna have to give it to Pele. But if it's not, if it's not populated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amazonians saw shit coming, they dipped out, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for Alexandria the Great to even worry about the destruction of anything else.
Okay.
She don't have to worry about the destruction. So to be honest, only way I can see that working with the elemental avatars is if Pele directed those avatars at her. So not only is she fighting Pele, but now she is directly fighting the avatars as well. So depending on how many elements, because everyone's like, oh, there's different, more than 4. If we're doing base elements, so that's 4 plus Pele. That's 5. That's 5 right there. That's 5 enemies that she has to attack.
Right. With no real time limit, or if we know, Dre, elaborate if you could, with no real energy loss either. It's kind of just, I control this, I control that. And
so my other question would be as well is, when it comes to her magic, is her magic via her trident, or is she just, or is it is the magic her? Does her trident allow her, give her the ability, for magic?
I think he said a little earlier, I think it might be the trident that she's able to use.
Yeah, the trident's her precog, but is it also her magic as well, her source of magic?
It distributes the multiple forms of energy, so it could manipulate. Okay, her trident can manipulate, concentrate, and distribute multiple forms of energy. No, but that's. So is it the energy or elements? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking for whether her magic ability, which he says it's the magic that allows her to control all elements. So is the trident the thing that imbues her with that magic power, or is she naturally imbued with that magic power? Is she like Doctor Strange level, or is she living tribunal kind of thing? Like the magic is there.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. That was crazy. That was crazy to say. I mean, is she Doctor Strange where he's borrowing these powers from these other elements, or is it like, or is it like Sidorak where that power is hers? You know what I'm saying? Right. Is she magic, or is the trident magic?
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't explain that very well. My bad.
No, you're good. That was a hell of a jump. It's like,
that was a big leap. That was a big leap. But to be honest, I feel like if we're going off ease, if we're to look at ease, I feel like it will be easier for Tutu to win than it would be for Alexandria the Great. She could win. She definitely could win. I just feel like her fight IQ, and I keep, that's been a big word for me. Her fight IQ, she would really have to put in that work to use her abilities properly. Flight, again, it would still be her most advantageous ability. Precog, you would say precog, but not really, because her opponent also has precog as well. And it seems like her precog is more efficient, works more efficiently than that Alexandra's a great. So I, unfortunately, as much as I don't want to, not say I don't want to, but I don't know, I gotta give it. I also have to give it to Tutu after playing Devil's Advocate. I feel like Tutu would be a little bit more prepared for this fight. Than Alexander the Great. And Ray says, he said, I'm gonna have to update her stats because I don't have her at her full potential.
You don't, man. You know what? The good thing, and
that's great
about this, right? That's good, right? Where is she now? And that's especially relevant when we start talking about the reckoning stuff. We don't want full potential. And I'm gonna use an example that I always use, right? If we talk about Goku and Dragon Ball, right? Let's go back to the 80s. Their Super Saiyan's not a thing yet. Ultra Instinct's not a thing yet. None of that. He's a monkey boy. That is
wow. That sounded wild,
right? He's right. He's just an extraordinary kid with a tail, right? There was always room to grow. It felt like he could do anything, but we can't say in 20, 30, 40 years he'll have Ultra Instinct, a fight with the gods of destruction. We don't care about none of that. What can he do right now? And so it's good that she's not at her full potential, because now that we know about the character that we're building, there's interest in the character because she looks fantastic, right? The power set is good. There's room for her to grow. And so now we get to follow that journey. Of course, you're in the Nexus, so that means we're still waiting on you to release a book. When she comes out with a book, we get to watch that growth. We don't have to be like, oh man, all right, she's Sung Jin-woo, right? She's got everything out the gate. No, bump that. Let's see how she goes from this 19-year-old with the standard hero power set to grow to the extraordinary hero that she's meant to be. So no, I'm so glad that she's not at full potential right now, because it gives us the opportunity to say, man, if her precog is at X now, when balls are to the wall and then she's on her back leg and the city's behind her, and if she doesn't figure this out, everybody's dead. What is she going to do? We get to watch that. So no, I'm glad, bro. So no, you don't have to update it. This is perfect. No. This is perfect.
Yep. Just let your story that you're gonna write for her play out on its own, and allow her to grow via her story, and then definitely, let's get that rematch. Let's run that fade, run it back.
So Dre's got some additional comments. He said, first off, I need to be able to talk because me typing is not doing it fast enough. But he also had several other comments. He said her precog leads her to only take fights she can win unless extremely frustrated, which will cause her to be very volcanic. And then secondly, he says her magic is both. Her trident amplifies it 100-fold. So yeah, so she's magical, and then the trident helps channel that energy. Fair enough.
All right. Okay. Trident's her Melnir. Copy.
Noted. Yeah.
Copy. All right, but yeah, Yep. All right. So yeah, with all that being said, unfortunately, again, Alexandria the Great, she's an amazing character. I cannot wait to see where she's going to go within her story and how strong she's going to become. Honestly, I love her character. I do. It really fits like such a modern superhero energy. I love it. But with this one, Tutu takes the dub on this one.
Yeah.
All right. So
GG's, y'all.
GG's. All right. So let's jump over to our next matchup, which is going to be a reckoning matchup, which is perfect timing because we got everyone's favorite demigod himself, who just dropped in. Give me 1 sec. Let me adjust everything, get everything looking nice and pretty and neat and stuff. There we are. That's a little better. That's a little better. Everything nice and neat. Brother man, Master Triage, how are you today?
I'm feeling good. If anyone asks, I've been in the stream the whole time.
Noted.
Noted. So this one is crazy. I know I had told you it was 3, but it was actually 4 4 matches because we realized that we completely missed one, which we just finished up. So we're moving on to our next match, which is Reckoning, and that is going to be Jupiter Man versus Reaper. Let's come around this way and let's share this one instead. Oh, there we go. There we are. So this one, this is gonna be a fun. This is gonna be a fun one because these two look absolutely savage.
Yeah.
Just looking, just their art looks like they finna be a problem.
Yeah.
They finna be a problem here. All right, so we got Jupiter Man here. Now I wonder, is Jupiter and Man 2 words or is 1 word?
1 word. 1 word.
1 word. All right, I'll have to fix that after the fact. Well, let's see. So Jupiter Man here is a part of the Reckoning team. Oh, we forgot to talk about their dots. Forgot to talk about their grade.
Okay, mistakes were made. That's okay.
And we learn.
We learn as we grow. Here we go. So he is sitting at a tier 5. He's planetary level. Now, of course, you see that there's 1 dot. That makes him at the top of the pecking order in that class where he's large planet to dwarf star levels of destruction. Yeah, so he's at a 5A. So that's where he's sitting at. And I know we're not showing Reaper's card, but in comparison, since we have the tier sheet up at the moment, he is right in the middle. He is just standard planet level destruction. So where he could, potentially destroy Earth, Jupiter Man's knocking out Jupiter. Yeah, no pun intended. So
this man weighs 300 pounds. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's damn.
All right, my boy need to go on an Ozempic or something.
Bad facts, because what the heck?
Well, he is 7 feet tall, so he might carry that weight very well. That might be.
You know what?
You're right.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. You're absolutely right. All right. So let's take a look at Jupiter Man here. Jupiter Man, and I love that name because when they released Jupiter, what was it? Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. I was on that.
Never sat through
on it. Man, it's good. It's so good to the point that the ending will piss you off when you realize that they canceled it.
Yep.
It was literally so it was a superhero show.
Alexa, silence.
It was a superhero show with pretty much like Superman movie grade budget. And talking about biting off more than you can chew, that is exactly why it got canceled, because the budget for it was astronomical, but the ratings didn't match the budget.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
Yeah, amazing show, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot. All right.
Now, do you think that's one of those things where it was just doomed to fail to begin with, or you think it was just?
No, I think they got too ambitious.
Copy. All right.
Yeah, I think they flew too close to the sun with that one. Or too close to Jupiter. But yes, so we're looking at here. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit closer for you guys so we can all see better, because I don't know about y'all, I am blind as a bat.
I got the lookers on for a reason, bro. Trust me. I'm with you.
If that's wild because I got my looky loos on too, and I can't look or loo for a damn thing. So Jupiter Man, his strength is sitting at a 7, which means he can lift 100 tons plus. All right, moving right along. That's pretty sick. So we're gonna see how Reaper there stands up to that. His intelligence, he's sitting at a 7, which means he's near omniscient. Right. Durability also. Let's see. Durability sitting at a 7 here as well. Virtually indestructible. Now, sorry, I'm going down a different line here. So his agility is also sitting. So this man's 7'd out, except for the 8. Copy. So looking at all these 7s across the board, he has a relativistic agility, which means he can react and move near the speed of light. Moving up here to energy projection, also sitting at a 7, virtually unlimited command of all forms of energy. We're looking at his fight here, which is also at a 7, master of all forms of combat. Now, with all that in there being said and done, now it's going to be really interesting because I feel like this is his speed here. When I get over to his speed, this is gonna break him.
Yeah,
this is actively going to break him because everything I just said, all of his other powers, on top of being an 8 speed, which is possessing limitless speed.
insane. I dropped a link in there just now for you. We actually had the pleasure of interviewing Nathan, who created Jupiter Man, and we have additional information for him after we discuss the powers. But we have additional information for him as well, and it gets slightly crazier.
Slightly crazier?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll once we go down the list of powers, yeah, I'd love for us to run that video briefly so that the people could see.
Oh, you want to run the powers first, or you want to?
Yeah, we'll list the powers first. All right,
all right.
How about his basic skill set already sounds insane.
just the stats. His stats sound crazy. Bro. All right, so here we are. Equipment: suit made of nth metal.
Bro,
Nathan, can we
you're
talk?
Virtually indestructible, and
Nathan, can we talk?
Metal.
I guess the nth metal, the nth and nth metal must stand for Nathan metal. What?
Facts. Good Lord.
Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. Virtually indestructible, and your suit is made of nth. Is crazy. For those of you who don't know, you know what? Let me before I put my foot in my mouth. Let me get the actual definition of nth metal from DC's database here. Right. So nth metal, also called ninth metal, is a special metal with gravity negating effects. A step ahead of eighth metal, yet 1 league behind element X, which is like 10th metal, essentially. So essentially, this nth metal is what gives him the power to fly, which nth metal in the Justice League animated series, that is what Shira Hawkgirl, that's what her mace is made out of. For those of you who don't know,
you got to punch through that to even actually touch him, and he's virtually indestructible.
So essentially, the nth, I'm pretty. So from my understanding, that nth metal suit, that might be what gives him the ability to fly.
Maybe. Guys,
it would also.
You're gonna see.
It would also give him a natural aversion to all magic.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Here's
because they use nth metal suits against the Batman Who Laughs in order to take him out.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And so on the front of the card, he wields the unfathomable powers of the Roman gods. So actually, he not even just the nth metal. He is powered by the gods.
Hold on, what do you mean? Like you mean like the entire Roman pantheon?
Not the entire. Half of them, if I remember correctly. And if Nathan, if you jump in at any point, if you can elaborate on which ones, obviously, you know, dive into which ones. The specific ones escape me at the moment. I think it might be gone over in the video, but yeah.
I would ballpark it and assume Jupiter, because Jupiter is a reference to Zeus. Absolutely. And probably Mars. You know, Mars is Aries, so
yeah.
We need Nathan in this chat.
Basic skills are off the fucking chart. He's got a fucking indestructible suit that allows him to fly and is vulnerable to magic, and then he's a goddamn demigod. What the
Sounds like a character Dre made.
yeah.
But
yo.
yeah, these powers. Wow. Was it Identic Memory?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, so Identic Memory is being able to recall. Identic Memory is what photographic memory is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Now, everybody that's
Spiritual
listening, we may have made the cards, but we copy and pasted what you guys put. So I don't know everything.
Yeah.
So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Let's get it.
No, I'm just like, I don't want to go through these because it's just broken. Identic Memory, Spiritual Invincibility, Healing
Now,
Factor.
I'm gonna need someone to elaborate on the spiritual invincibility, but please continue.
Yeah, Spirit Walking. All right, okay. So that means he can. Is it Spirit Walking as in he's able to? Oh no, that's dream. That's dream walking.
The video go through that one specifically for sure.
Okay.
I forget we got a video. Flight, sun, storm, and speed manipulation. Speed manipulation. So like slows down or speeds up. Oh, okay.
Wait, that's the one that got you? Not the sun manipulation? That's the one that got the speed manipulation?
Well, when I see somebody that it says sun manipulation, I think soul.
Oh my god!
The way. I don't know. We need Nathan in these chats. If you know Nathan, because I know J. Cole know Nathan, don't know Nathan, but we.
Stupid.
I'm sorry that I just always love that bar because it's underrated because it. Oh man, I'll explain that to you another time. But
I didn't get the reference.
We need. What was that?
I didn't get the reference.
Oh, okay. I'll explain it later. But no, we need Nathan in the chat, man, because I got questions because this is about to go crazy. I got questions, but yes. So with that being said, that is Juperman. Let's jump over and take a look at what we have for video evidence of his greatness.
Yes, Jesus.
All right. Is that sharing? Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
In the face of chaos and death, Juperman, the man-turned-god, must decide whether it's his place to bring justice to the world or leave humanity to their own devices. Juperman can manipulate time, slowing it down, speeding it up, and morphing it to his will. He can energize himself by absorbing sun energy from various sources, including other beings and plants. He also has an ability to harness every storm to ever exist in his universe. During his hibernative state, Juperman traverses the spirit world, helping souls pass over. While in this space, he's able to communicate with spirits of those passing and learn a number of techniques from them. It's been stated that this is where he learned his various fighting techniques when he spent over 200 years there. Juperman's strength is notable, ranging from country to continent level, with the potential to impact the world. In space battles, it's said that Juperman can crack space-time, indicating an extraordinary level of speed. Also alongside his speed, he could perceive and react to attacks at speeds just under the speed of light. And Juperman is also able to fight for hours, even days, without breaking a sweat.
Let us know who you think can stand up to these characters here in the IndieVS, and check out the interview with the creator on our weekly Indie Breakdown episodes, now on Patreon and Spotify. If you want us to break down your character, fill the form out on our website, midnightcomics.org. And remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
So, the being able to control any and every storm that has ever existed in
the universe
is insane.
Now, the question I want to ask is, when they say storm, do they just mean like a natural storm on a planet? Would that control? Would that also be like a storm in space?
Correct.
Yeah.
So he can in essence manipulate like a black hole then.
Essentially.
Oh my God.
You could be like, hey, that storm on Jupiter, say less, got it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Exactly what I was thinking.
If there's a sun going supernova, I'll just absorb that power and redirect it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, solar storms too, man.
Now, of course, because he's in the reckoning, right? We can only go based on what is in the books,
yes,
in the card. But just to add some icing on the cake here, if say for sake conversation is a Nexus thing, Jupiter Man also is able to move at the speed of darkness. Essentially,
What?
Essentially, hold on, hear me out. It is, think of it almost as the way that I rationalize it from the explanation that was provided during the creator clash that Nathan was a part of during the show portion of this. It was essentially utilizing darkness to teleport to another point. So let's say there's a real life theory about the dark matter in space and dark energy in space being what's called primordial black holes. And so by utilizing, hey, I'm going to use this primordial black hole that's next to Earth to show up near Pluto. Being able to pinpoint and utilize those primordial black holes or that darkness in order to traverse wherever you need to go to. Now, here's the problem, not the problem, but here's the dangerous part when trying to fight somebody like that, right? Now, and I might be using this incorrectly, but now speed is irrelevant because you're not actually traveling at the speed of anything. You're just appearing. So essentially, with the explanation of the speed of darkness, he essentially has instant transmission without having to send you. I just want to be there. I just need to be in that spot right there by utilizing the darkness that's out there. So darkness doesn't have a speed, but it is, right? So that is, so again, we're not using that because one, it's not on the card, two, it's not in the books yet, but just throwing that out there. Good luck. Woe to the So
you know what? In his ethnicity, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like this is a character that's incredibly in tune with the universe. You know, forget about the elements, forget about the spirits. He's in tune with everything within the universe.
Yeah. Wow. He's dangerous. He's extremely dangerous. So I know pre-show I was talking about the fact like, well, I said at the beginning of the show, I'm like, Jupiter Man is a powerhouse, dude. He's a powerhouse. Spiff, what's going on, dude?
What's up?
He
is a
powerhouse. How in the world is Reaper going to stand a chance, man? How is Reaper going to stand a chance? We'll see his powers in a second, but man,
you got to work it out for him. That's for damn sure.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm still speechless. I'm still technically stuck in the part where you said he can control any storm within his universe, because I'm sitting, I'm like, wait, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes Mars. So there's like 5 planets that have a storm going at all times.
At all times. How do you? It's insane. It's insane. So yeah, and again, speed manipulation. I need you to slow down. Hell, I'll let you speed up. You're not used to that speed.
Yeah.
Every storm in his universe. Any and every. There's nothing. What does Reaper have that's stopping universal storms?
Well,
we'll see.
Find out.
Let's find out.
So here we have Reaper. He's sitting at 2 dots, 2 orange dots.
So he's planetary, and so that actually put him at, and obviously since those videos were made, right? Initially, Jupiter Man was at a point, or at least in the stories where it was showcased, was probably could destroy large continents and stuff like that. But that was a while back, right? I think since issue 2 has also dropped, and so by the time you fill the card out, Jupiter Man can destroy, or has the potential to destroy, large planetary, whereas Reaper is just, planetary. So again, what we used as an example was Reaper could potentially destroy Earth, Jupiter Man could potentially destroy Jupiter, right? So yeah, so that's where they're at, playing field wise, tier wise.
All right. So Reaper, by all means, Lloyd, you can take it away if you'd like.
Okay, so Reaper sits at a 7, right? So he's definitely able to lift 100 tons plus, which I think today has been the common thing that 7 is so far is where we're sitting at. Intelligence is a 4, so he's gifted again, no slouch there. 8 in speed, so he also possesses limitless speed. Durability, he is virtually indestructible. Man, this is gonna be we're gonna be talking about this for a second. Agility, relativistic, so it can react and move near the speed of light. Energy projection, he's able to discharge multiple forms of energy at a 6. And then fight ability, is a master of several forms of combat. Now, we look at the power stats. There's some hope. However, does he have what he needs in the equipment and power section? I'm not so confident.
Let's see. Indestructible scythe.
Mm-hmm.
And then power of chaos. Power of a burning star.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. I need an example of the chaos power then. I need to know what exactly that is.
That was gonna be my first question. Like, are we talking Scarlet Witch? Or are we talking just manipulating? Are we talking about making things backfire?
Like Jinx kind of level, like just bad luck, just that burning star. Are we talking about like a sun that's gone supernova?
Right.
Are we saying that he gives off that energy? Because if he gives off that energy, or if he's in essence a supernova, he can manipulate him. So that fight's damn near over.
Right. If it No, well, you know what? Actually, if it's the sun, then that's very specific to ours. Potentially. Nathan, if you show up, anybody that got Nathan on speed, let Nathan know we need specifics. But if it's just the sun, then maybe Reaper has hope of not being manipulated. Maybe.
And like when they say that the scythe is indestructible, like I need a little bit more clarification in that.
Yeah.
Like does the scythe do anything like else special? Or does the scythe have powers itself?
Like, could the scythe separate his soul from his body? Like,
yeah, or is it
he's gonna need that in the fight?
Or is it just a farming tool that just don't break?
Is it like Inuyasha's Tetsuya?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a little bit of conversation that I see here. I'm kind of perusing the comments. I don't know if it's enough for us to go on, but what I'll say, there was a comment Nathan broke down, some of the powers and stuff like that. No need to dive into that because we have what we need here. He says, I don't think Nathan says this to Stefan Wolmer, one of the creators of Reaper. He says, I don't think the power of a burning star is enough, but I'm curious. What stops his powers from being manipulated? Which is the question that we just had a moment ago. So he says, Stefan, again, creator of Reaper, says, the power of the star comes from the Chaos Dragon. The Chaos Dragon is one of 2 immortal entities that protect Earth. It is sentient and wise. Reaper is also able to manipulate dark matter, or the stitching that holds together the universe. With the wisdom of the dragon and his ability to manipulate the stuff that keeps the world together, I feel he has a chance of defending manipulation. So it's not necessarily then, how do I want to say this? It's not necessarily a star directly that he's pulling from. It's the dragon that has the power of the burning star. So how can we rectify that?
So he's in essence, he's an avatar. So he's like Khonshu with Moon Knight.
Right.
Or Iron Fist with the dragons.
Right.
Okay. So
I'm getting cosmic level Iron Fist from this.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, which is pretty. Yeah.
The only other comment from the creators here is once more from Stefan. Reaper will summon the power of chaos to burn Jupiter Man into ash. Then he will use his dark matter manipulation to stop Jupiter Man from being able to regenerate. And that was the end of that. Again, the previous comments by Nathan was kind of breaking down more, the powers and abilities that we've already discussed and witnessed within the video. He does dive into some weaknesses that I don't mind if y'all we can share that really quick. Pain Knight exposure. I'm not familiar with that, but it says weakens powers, slows healing. Stronger opponents is a weakness he's put. Overpowered by superior force or elemental counters. Mental conditioning, susceptible to memory-based manipulation. And then all storm energy. Every storm in existence contributes to a multicultural primordial force he can tap into. That doesn't feel like a weakness. Magic drawn from Cherokee heritage and the Zed Namtu ancestral force. His spells are incantations that unlock raw elemental power. So maybe that wasn't a weakness, but so the mental situation, the overpowered by somebody that just happens to be stronger, and then whatever Pain Knight exposure are those three things. That's not anything that's really in Reaper's arsenal, so we're not too concerned about that. But the big thing that I want to ask y'all in y'all's thought process, because honestly, in my opinion, at the moment, is Jupiter Man without any further clarification from either. But that dark matter manipulation and trying to figure out what that chaos power is the only two things that's the items that's missing to be a definitive win on the side of Jupiter Man at the moment.
So I'm also seeing another comment here. I don't know if this is the one you read, but he says Reaper's burning star power allows him to summon flames that burn as hot as the sun and make him immensely physically strong. Like many his weaknesses are all it's right underneath. Stefan says Reaper is ready to battle, and then Mark comment underneath.
Got you. Okay, bet.
Yep. So he said, like many, his weaknesses are also his strengths. Harnessing the power of the burning star can lead Reaper to reach a state of complete rage, making him more dangerous but less strategic.
Oh, see, that'll bite him in his ass too.
Yeah.
Because that keeping it with the fisticuffs is always cool, but this is why I also said I want a little bit more about the characters' personalities, because little moments like that'll make the difference in a fight. Because it's like if you're trying to fight so hard that you're not worried about the other person, what the other person can do to you.
Yeah.
Now, but the question I want to ask too is with the whole thing with him being able to do that, because if he's accessing his power from the dragon, is the dragon basically like a cosmic entity?
Hmm.
Because if that was the case, couldn't Jupiter Man also manipulate the dragon's energy going through him?
Let me see. Where did he say? He said that.
Yeah.
And then it all it says is it's one of two immortal entities that protect Earth. Doesn't say what type of entities they are though. Because it could be cosmic, they could be ethereal, it could be they could be terrestrial.
Right. So if he's manipulating this energy through him and it comes in the form of a solar flare or I forget exactly how he put it. Like all I'm hearing is that's just more fuel for the fire.
Yeah.
That doesn't work in his favor, in my opinion.
No.
If we look at Jupiter Man's I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Jupiter Man's his energy projection, he's at a 7, virtually unlimited command of all forms of energy.
This is a quicker one than I thought it would be.
Right, because you guys have all seen Wolverine and Deadpool, correct?
Yeah.
So we all remember that scene where the Human Torch tried to take on Pyro.
Yes.
I'm seeing that play out like this in my mind.
Yeah. How about that? Give me that.
Yeah. Again, not saying. I just want to point out, Reaper not a slouch.
No, by no means.
By no means whatsoever. Like this man is a problem, a whole problem. I feel like Jupiter Man wins, but not by a lot. Not by he wins. It's a clean win. But I feel like the battle gonna last a little while. That battle gonna last a little while.
Are we thinking mid diff then, or is it still low diff? But it's just gonna take a while to put him down.
I think that they're going to start off like with a square fight. I think when he goes, let's call it going nuclear, I think the second he loses his cool, not only is he being back with that extra power, he's got that power boost. He's not as level headed no more. You got someone who can manipulate the energy he's using against him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the second he loses his cool, that fight's over for him.
Oh, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. And here's something that we talked about, I think, in the last episode that we haven't really talked about too much in this one. All right. Let's look at this age. Reaper is 1,000 years old, and he's an alien.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Jupiter Man is only 32 years old.
Now, I will throw this in here. Okay.
But in the video we watched, it said that he spent 200 years on
in
the spirit plane. Well, all right, so 200 years in the spirit plane as opposed to time runs differently in the spirit plane. So 200 years there could have been like 2 minutes here.
Well, and again, we copy and paste here what was put in there. But yeah, in the book, he still physically looks 32. But when he comes out of the spirit plane, actual 200 years has passed on Earth.
Oh.
Yes. So in that first issue, he secludes himself in a cave. This is probably by like page 6 or 7. He secludes himself in a cave. He's like, hey, you know what? These battles that's happening, this might not have anything to do with me, y'all. Right? Like, I am beyond this now, and I don't feel like it's my place to be involved. So let me essentially kind of meditate on this and learn, right, what all I could do, because these powers just kind of sprang on him, right? And so yeah, he removes himself, not to spoil anything like that, but he does remove himself from the affairs of man, right? Spends 200 years, and he's, as people pass the living plane, they're passing by, he's like in that in-between space, and that's where he's learning all of these different things. So hence why he's able to harness all of these different energies, why he's able to have all these fighting styles, because everything that's passing, everything that's dying is passing him in this in-between point, and he has that 200 years to learn from countless people throughout history and entities. My assumption anyway, entities, because if there's aliens in your verse and they die, obviously they got to pass through that plane as well. So beings he's discussing. And Nathan, again, if you want to elaborate, if I'm missing something here, but the assumption with the entities, but definitely every human is passing by here. So whatever mysticisms, magic, martial arts, he's learning it for 200 years. And he basically, in the story, colonization is starting or happening. By the time he gets out, it's the 1990s.
Okay. All right. So we're looking at a 232-year-old man who spent 200 years within the astral plane, and a 1,000-year-old alien. You know, go ahead.
So my thing with this is and see, this is one of the things where I'm going to ask, and if to anybody else, like, I want a few points of reference for your character's personality, loyalty, selflessness, bravery, shit like that. And the reason why I say that is because age does not equal maturity.
Like, that's very true.
I think of my thing like this. Like, when we hear these immortals or these people who are also old, like the golden standard for like DC is like Vandal Savage. Vandal's very detached, very strategical. Like, he broke his own daughter's neck without thinking twice, and then told her through her funeral. Like, you know what I
mean? True.
But then, like, when you think strategist, like the way he's describing this character kind of reminded me of like Alex Wilder from The Runaways. Alex died, went to hell, and then spent the next X amount of years being tutored by every major warlord and strategist in history.
Yeah.
And then when he left, he used the information he gathered, but he was still not quite as capable as he would have been if he had been a grown ass man with more years of experience. And like I said, ego also comes into play.
That's a fact.
So,
like, we're all Dragon Ball Z fans, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We all agree that Goku that Goku ain't got one up on Vegeta, but Vegeta got the bigger ego.
So what I would say is, yeah, I would definitely say Jupiter got it, because if Now we're looking at, looking at what was said in the comments there. Essentially it says, when he gets angry, he gets stronger, but he doesn't think too much. I feel like anybody that has that ability that can loses that strategic ability when they, when they go into a rage state like that, even then, even just going into a rage state, I feel like leads to believe that there is a level of immaturity there, right? And at least not zen, not very zen like, or very. I feel like Jupiter Man would win because he has that level of zen, patience, and there's a word that I'm looking for, and I don't know what it is, but essentially it just seems like he just has more like composure.
Yeah,
because of that time he spent within the spirit realm.
Yeah,
I think
he was able to meditate for 200 years.
I think regardless of the situation, he's going to keep the fight on his terms.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I definitely feel like that.
By keeping it on his terms, he's gonna control the outcome.
Yeah. Yep. So far we have Tutu Pele our first match winning against Alexandria the Great. We have our second match. We have Jupiter Man beating out Reaper in our second match. Okay. So, and honestly, this being me and Triad's first Reckoning match, breaking down, I think I'm having more fun with the Reckoning, breaking down Reckoning than Nexus, because I get, they can do a lot more.
Yeah.
You can speculate,
right?
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it looks like Jupiter for the win.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Nope. Anything else? Anybody got anything else?
No, that's definitive. And we didn't even talk about the location and being in Krakoa and stuff like that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He's gonna keep his cool. He's gonna keep his cool throughout the whole thing. Can you imagine also, like, again, not devil's advocate, but the same way we talked about whether Krakoa is populated or not. Can you imagine, oh man, the fight's happening and he happens to see Storm doing something to protect her folks from the battle that's happening. He's like, oh, you know what? I didn't go overboard. Let me use that right quick. Bow! And we know how strong Storm is.
Yeah.
Right. And now it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
Let's not forget, Krakoa is a living island.
Yeah.
It's a living island.
Jeez Louise.
Oh my god. All right. Yeah. So for our next
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I forgot he had a healing factor.
Cool.
Jupiter Man.
Yeah, like I said,
for what reason? For what? For what?
And not to mention, he's already into the indestructible suit.
Yeah.
On top of the spiritual invincibility, that means he has complete protection against any spiritual attacks.
Cooked. Now, again, if we could get some later down the line, if there's a rematch, stuff like that, if we can get clarification on the chaos abilities, right? Because depending, that's reality warping. He could, depending on the varying levels of it, right? Reaper could be out, but we don't know, and we don't want to assume nothing. So, Jupiter Man is
that's a very broad scope.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. All right. So next on the docket, we have this man, and I really wish we would have saw more from him in the bug problem, because he alone is a problem. We have Damion, Mr. Damion. This again, the art is sick. The art is sick, just sick,
glorious,
man, an all-powerful fury warrior. Fiery. Sorry. But yeah, this man is a problem. And he's only 19.
That's crazy.
Only 19. Yep. We talked about him in the big bug problem. if you haven't watched the Big Bug Problem, you can definitely go check it out. It is on both YouTubes, is also on both Facebooks. We will definitely be linking everything as well. All right. So, Damion, and I know Triage, I know this is a character that you were really interested in when you were going over for the bug problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's dive into it here. So we got Damion. We got his strength here sitting at a 7. Again, like everyone's strength so thus far, almost everyone has been a 7.
Yeah.
Who can lift over 100 tons. All right. Moving into their intelligence, he's sitting at a 4, which means he's gifted. He ain't no slouch. Hitting that speed. Let's see what his speed's sitting at a 5, which means he's supersonic. He's sitting Mach 2 orbital velocity. All right, he got speed. He got speed, right? But his durability is sitting at a 6, which means he can withstand poisons, extreme temperatures, and concussive attacks. But again, and this is something I feel like we got to keep pointing out. Just because her number is like a 6, withstands poison, extreme temperatures, concussive attacks. But that also means he's also 5, bulletproof, thin skin, repels most weapons. 4, regenerative, difficult to permanently injure. He's a 3, enhances the infinite healing, normal resistance for 2 and 1. You know what I mean? He has all those prior to that as well, which means he's bulletproof, regenerative, all that. He's not just resistant to poison and extreme temperatures, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's always, let's keep that in mind. Now his agility is a monster. He's a 7. He can react and move near the speed of light. Problematic. But let's not forget about his energy projection as well. He's sitting at a 6, able to discharge multiple forms of energy, and with that, his fight is at a 4. He's an experienced fighter, so I mean, he can throw hands. He can throw hands. So pretty much, I'll say he's fighting like Mike Tyson.
Slick.
He's like Mike Tyson level. Let's see. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. Let's move on down to his equipment. I'm gonna give it a try. I didn't try it last time. I'll give it a try now.
He said,
Tana Eji Orun.
Okay.
It sounds like some.
Yeah, sounds better than how I would have said it. So we going. That's fine.
Yeah, we definitely go with that.
All right. So, but his powers clearly from the photo is pyrokinetic, regeneration, and electromagnetism. My boy is pyro and magneto rolled into one with a little bit of a healing factor.
Now I'm curious because I didn't pay that much attention last time. Because how does that work exactly?
What do you mean?
Because if a magnet is heated, it loses its charge.
Well, we didn't get into it last time because everybody. Well, no. Well, we really didn't get into it last time because remember the Verdant Mother. She got there like 10 hours before anybody else did, so she soloed it. She soloed the battle, so we didn't get a chance to dive into Damion's power at all.
Yeah.
So, but the thing that I'm thinking this means is more so planetary. You know how the planets have a magnetic core?
Yeah.
But it's also super hot in that core as well.
Yeah.
So, but if I remember correctly, and I ain't no scientist, it's the fact that our core spins, right? And there's molten metal in there as well, which creates, while it's spinning, it creates the magnetic poles. So I can see fire and electromagnetism working together, but I would have to see, or maybe he just does both at different times.
Yeah,
you could switch back and forth. We shall see. We got Lonzo in the chat as well. Yo.
Unless maybe and because of course he's got equipment. Maybe he's able to channel it through the weapon, or maybe the weapon has one and he naturally has another, or you know what I mean? Like, because looking at the image, right, there's an energy that's emanating off of the weapon in his hand over there, and then a flame that's in his left hand, right? And
is very
maybe you could make the argument that you see two different forms of energy in that moment, right? Like the axe feels more like, and on that hand, it looks more like the electromagnetism versus a flaming situation, right?
I mean, it does say he's able to discharge multiple forms of energy,
right?
So he probably can use them both at the same time.
Yeah. So,
and the axe is on some Mjolnir stuff, and he's able to just, use the axe as if it was Mjolnir.
I do want to point out the tier that he's in, really quick. So they are definitely punching at a higher level. He's at a universal level, y'all. We're talking about this. He sits at a universal level in regards to puncher power. Hold on, let me pull it back up really quick. I accidentally closed it out when I was scrolling here. Hold on. He is sitting at tier 3, cosmic level, but he only has 1 dot, which means he is universe levels of destruction. So between his physical output and the magical abilities of his weapon and what have you, he is definitely he's definitely a problem. So honestly, during the bug problem, if they were allowed to fight, especially paired up with the Verdant Mother who was on the same level, Krill might have been cooked. Right. Not even might have been, because Krill is technically nuclear level. So like if they teamed up, he's done. Right. But but again, we're not talking about bug problem right now. We're on this. But yeah, he sits at a universal potential for universe levels of destruction. And one last thing I will bring up in the comments of the battle, which we'll dive into a little while later, Mark, the creator of Damion, did bring up that his actually should be at an 8 for strength. However, he did agree to leave it at 7 for the sake of this battle. But he states that he should be sitting at an 8, which does change it slightly. Again, if we want to play devil advocate later on down the line, means that he can lift multi-megatons in regards to strength. So, all right. I'm shutting up.
Yep.
We're down to
now, but also within those comments, I see Mark. He does give more detail on Damion and his powers as well. So he says Damion is a descendant of Orisha Shango.
He's the son of Shango?
He's the descendant of Shango. Yeah.
Oh my boy.
Jeez.
Yes. So yes, that is yes. Give me a
so
second. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. Like, wow. Yeah. Let's clarify for people. I was about to say, let's clarify for people who Shango is. So Shango is a predominant Orisha, or kind of like deity from damn, how do you say the religion?
Yoruba,
right? And he's associated with thunder, lightning, fire, and justice.
Yeah.
Shango is revered as a powerful, even fearsome deity, often depicted with a double-headed axe, his sacred weapon, and is considered a symbol of virility and courage.
Crazy. Yeah. So Damien's gonna be a problem. Gonna be a problem.
Yep. Let's see, where was I? And then he says he controls fire and electromagnetism. He's got flight, super strength, super speed, near instant regeneration, can create illusions using the heat and humidity in the air. So he can create steam illusions. Wow. Can create energy shields like Magneto. Various energy projection. Bless you. Fire at different densities to create anything between laser-like projections and balls of fire, as well as electricity-based attacks. He can absorb ambient heat to enhance himself, can consume the oxygen in the area or within a body with fire to suffocate an opponent. Electromagnetic attacks that can interfere with the body's nervous system. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's huh.
Hmm.
Huh. Huh.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Ah.
That's yeah. So he's
Jesus.
working with something. He's definitely working with something because yeah, that's and see that's the thing about these Nexus battles, man. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible in these. I have no comment. I have no comment.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
Right.
Listen, it sounds like someone's down on 1-800 ass whooping.
now, wait a second. Now, y'all know Moloch is created by Dre Burke. And if there's one thing we can count on Dre's characters, they are prepared for damn near any task.
He says Dre says in here. So next week, Moloch gets to kill Damion and add his scalp to his trophy wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's
Krill, Dre, Incendiary, Dre, Tutu, Dre. Okay, he's got the characters that are ready for the task. Okay, all right. We about to see, but no, Damien's a problem. Damien's a problem for damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, god damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So we have Moloch here. If you want to go through his tier, and I'll pull up because Dre did give a little more backstory on Moloch as well within the comments too.
Now I will say that if we're talking about his tier, based on here, he's sitting at 3C. He is at a galaxy level destruction, so not quite universe level. But like, let's sit down, right? Like we gloss over these, okay? Casually, I immediately think Broly in his first movie, South Galaxy gone. How many trillions of life forms are gone in the answer? So again, not quite universe level, but thinking about that scale, this is nothing to bat an eye at. So Moloch is him. So yeah. Good.
Yeah. So it says here, per Dre, Moloch is a dishonored angel who abandoned his holy charge after the Watchers fell from grace. And since he was labeled as fallen, he took over an entire solar system and ruled the 9 worlds in it as their king. He is expertly proficient in various types of magic and transmutation. He's been known to transfigure those whom he possessed. Well then,
transfigure. What does he mean by that?
Like Professor McGonagall. Change motherfuckers. Like change motherfuckers. It's not just like, oh, I possessed you. No. I'm possessing you and I'm turning you into a fucking cat, or I'm turning you into a fly, or any weird ass amalgamation creature that I can think of. Man, I know Dre in the chat right now. Yeah, my bad. Here, let's get these chats back up here. All right, so we got. Let's see, my boy Damion. I don't know. We haven't got into the stats of Moloch yet. We haven't got into his powers yet. But as of right now, it's looking like Damion. But we shall see. Also, a quick question. When these battles happen, are we basing off stats or what? So for Nexus, we are basing solely off of their stat cards. And if there's any other information that had been given prior to the battle per the creator, right? Now for Reckoning, we're going off, yes, their power stats and abilities off the cards, but also feats that they have accomplished within their respective worlds and stories. All right.
Yeah. If your character has not done it, or if it's not specifically listed on the information that is given, it is not canon to what we are talking about.
Facts.
Yes.
I was talking to Ben earlier, creator of the Verdant Mother, that we had the pleasure of talking to during the Bug Problem event. And the example that I used when talking to him was like, hey, what are the original powers of Superman, right? When he first dropped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leap tall buildings in a single bound, more powerful than a locomotive, faster than a speed bullet, all of that. Nowhere in there was a flight.
Mm.
So at the time, if we go back to my Goku example, at the time we have original Superman versus original Goku. We got a different conversation happening, right? So we can't say, oh well, 40 issues down here. Nah, he can't fly. He can't fly
Wow.
here.
I never thought about that.
Yes, sir.
Technically, it's suit.
Well,
I mean, they mentioned it's a bird, or they did say, look, it's a bird, it's a plane. No,
right.
It's Superman.
Fun fact,
but they never specific
that messed up and said he could fly. And
you're right. I heard about that.
Yeah. So that's what So we don't want to just make up stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
What can your boy do canonically?
Right.
Travis, welcome.
Forget about it.
Well, I totally agree with that, Lloyd, because that was like the argument we were having, because we had the whole thing with Batman versus Ninja Turtles, and that turned into an whole argument. So I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Anytime we talk about Batman, turns to an argument.
What's the slogan, guys? What's the joint?
Fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
Man.
Like, it really depends all on the continuity of the character and what argument we're having. So it's like, if it's not specifically giving as fact at the moment, we can't accept it.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, we can make our assumptions,
right?
And from that, we'll build, two different kind of scenarios based off like our assumptions of the situation. But at the end of the day, we still bring it back to what's on the card.
Right.
And the card rules win. Rules win.
And not a book, and you can show the feat that elaborates what's on there. Again, this is Reckoning side. Nexus, the possibilities are endless, right? But Reckoning, if you got a claim, you got to back it up with a feat from the book. Hence why we couldn't use the speed of darkness feat for Jupiter Man last round, though he washes regardless. But we couldn't use that as part of it because that's not something shown in the book. Yeah, I haven't seen issue 2, right? So I don't know if that's the case. But in regards to issue 1, we couldn't use it. So that's the case there. So anyway, yes.
And you could also have a very basic explanation of a power. Like energy manipulation is very basic explanation, but that is a phenomenally big umbrella.
That's the same thing with that we had with psionics.
Yeah,
psionics is everything from everything from telekinesis to telekinesis to telepathy to creating mental constructs like Psylocke. It's a massive umbrella.
Levitating, astral projection. Yeah, now that's a very big
massive umbrella. Tavis, what's going on, bro?
So with Mr. Dishonored Angel here, which honestly that's giving me real Lucifer vibes to me.
He reminds me of a Namor.
Yeah. Visual. That's what visually. At first, I thought he was a water-based character.
Oh yeah,
because I was like, oh yeah, he looks like Namor. Because we already the last one was an Aquaman-esque type character, right? For Tutu Pele was a very Aquaman-esque character, but honestly, I'd say infinitely stronger than Aquaman.
Yeah,
she would use Aquaman to wipe her ass.
Facts,
essentially. So she went out in that one, and then I was thinking with the last one, we had
Atlas.
And then with the last one we're having Atlas, who was also a water character. And then I saw him. I'm like, oh, okay, I see a theme here. But no, he's like, no, he's not a water character. I was like, oh, okay. Now finding out he's like an angel. Yeah. Namor really fucked up our idea of you're in water. Why do you have wings? Oh man, but let's take a look here. So we have his strength sitting at a 7, again lifting over 100 tons. Intelligent is super genius sitting at a 6. Speed, give me a sec, I keep fucking up here. His speed is sitting at a 7, which is warp speed, transcends light speed. He's faster than light speed. That is ridiculous. Sitting at durability of 7, virtually indestructible, with agility sitting at an 8. Reality breaking, can exist in multiple places at once and move when time is frozen. Oof. Oof. Okay. All right. Energy projection. He's sitting at a 6 as well. Able to discharge multiple forms of energy. And his fight is sitting at a 6. Master of several forms of combat.
Listen, we tried to tell you, Triage. Dre's characters, they ready to fight.
Yeah.
They're ready to fight.
Like I said, like you weren't able to join us for the last episode. That was ridiculous. That was so short.
It was
like we were 30 minutes in and already came to a conclusion. We had to drag it out for another 30 just to make time.
Damn, that's true.
we were 30 minutes in. It was like, yeah,
he got it. He got it. His characters are ready, and to be fair, right? The hero of the universe, and Dre, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm pretty sure they're all connected. Pantheon is he's him. Okay,
yeah, he's broken too.
He is him. So it only makes sense for the characters that are in that universe, the villains that are in that universe, to be at that level in order to even push Pantheon. Because man, his potential, where he's growing and where he's going to get to, freaking insane, dude. So yeah, that Omni Comics is definitely a universe to be on the lookout for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Because man, that's 4. Yeah, Argon Krill. Who was it? Who was it last episode?
Argon Krill. Oh hell. And now it escapes me because we just ran through it so quickly. While you're going over the equipment, I'm gonna go pull that up. I'm gonna go find it. One sec.
Copy. So, looking at equipment, he has a plague scythe. That sounds wild. Let's see. Call forth all forms of plagues and poisons, magical tools and he has magical tools and relics.
Oh, Invictus.
Oh my god! How did we forget? How dare we disrespect this man? Invictus was a problem because I sent you Trios. I sent you his card.
Yes,
I sent you his
bro. The anti-monitor of the Indie Breakdown database. Okay, he is. I know this ain't his episode. I know it's not his episode. The nigh omnipotent former member of the cosmic oligarchy. Okay, ridiculous. We're not going to go back into the powers, but watch the episode. He's insane.
Oh my god, ridiculous. So, with that being said, this man's powers: spirit possession, immortality, energy vision, energy blasts, weather modification, divine siphoning. Oh, I can only imagine what that means. Mass/remote possession. Wow. So if I'm understanding that correctly, he can possess a large group of people all at once and also possess somebody from a distance.
Damn.
Dark side release. Wow. Corruption inducement. Possession transformation and magic.
I'd like an elaboration of possession transformation.
Oh no, I think I'm pretty sure we got that in the Facebook post where he says and transmutation. He's been known to for transfiguring those whom he possessed. So I'm pretty sure that means that he possesses somebody and then he can physically change their form.
Oh my god. Okay. Now I'm sure there's plenty of shows that have shown us examples of this, but I'm gonna pull from one that might be a little older. Bubble Room Crisis Tokyo 2040. the last couple episodes, they're fighting the Boomers, which are robots and stuff. Watch the series; it's a fantastic series. They were fighting in robot suits that were basically the same as the villains that they were fighting. They fight this, the lady that's kind of the mother of all the Galatia. Basically, what ends up happening is she takes control of the suit and starts morphing old girl's suit, and she's got to try to mentally fight against that. But that's what I thought of, like, you're taking control and you're transforming the KO, bro. KO.
Yeah.
And throwing this out there, the location of this fight is Asgard.
Okay.
We'll argue populated and non-populated, but the location's Asgard.
To be honest, at this point, I don't think it matters.
Listen, man, the only thing I'm curious about is the amount of collateral damage that these fights are leaving.
Oh, it's done. Ray said it perfectly in the comment of the initial post. Asgard's fucked. It's done. It's done.
Oh God.
It's gone. It's gone.
Listen,
but you
man.
know what? Asgard's never gone. Because Asgard is the people, not the place.
I don't want to hear that shit. But hold on. Listen, I'm just saying, from someone who knows my Norse mythology and someone who's read American Gods, I feel very bad for anyone who shows up on Odin's doorstep looking for a fight. I'm just saying.
Very, very goddamn true. Very goddamn true.
I would never count out that old trickster. I would never, ever, ever do it.
Yes. So, seeing as how these two characters are Nexus, this is gonna be interesting. Let's compare this. Let's compare this right now. All right. So, Moloch's age is unknown, right? And he's a $180 soaking wet. I'm heavier than him.
Mm-hmm.
I would think, for an angel, you'd be like fucking like gazillion tons or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But let's compare these. So their strength, their match on strength.
Yeah.
7-7. But intelligence wise, there's a large intelligence gap between the two.
Big time.
With Damion at a 4 being gifted, but Moloch being at a 6, which is super genius. Right? There's a large gap in speed, being a 5 as opposed to Moloch 7. Durability is not too far off with Damion being at a 6 and Moloch being at a 7. And then that agility, we're looking at Moloch taking that as well, being at an 8, while Damien's at a 7. So he's not too far off at agility wise. They're equaling out in that energy projection, but that fight, there's a large gap within their fight with Moloch sitting at a 6 again, which is a master of several forms of combat, as opposed to a master of a single form of combat. Oh, I'm sorry, expert fighter. I'm sorry. Right? Yeah, expert fighter. There's a lot that is I'd say there's a lot really falling against Damion in this matchup in particular, at least looking specifically on the power stats side. Specifically the power stats side. And if we come down to abilities, Damien's not really you got to be creative with those. You got 3 abilities, 2 of them that are able to actually do damage.
Right.
And as opposed to a man that doesn't even have to see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That divine siphoning.
That's the one.
That's the one right there. So that means he's able to siphon powers from the divine.
Yeah.
So we're not going to put him against Verdant Mother, right?
Well, no. Hell no. I was going to make an argument, but yeah. Ben, if you ain't here, man, look, if you want to have that challenge, bro, talk to him, bro. But yeah, I don't know.
Corruption.
Although tier placement in regards to, first glance, right, between 3A through 3C, you would say Damion with the potential. And that's the big thing that we want to keep pointing out, because some of these, based on the stats, in comparison to where they're placed on the tiers, right, it seems more times than not, 9 times out of 10, that they have the potential to be universe level, potential to be galaxy level, so on and so forth. So even with that potential, again, he's still a long ways away from being able to drop the boy Moloch, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's still
very true. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Not to say characters that have less than their arsenal can't get away with stuff, man. Yusuke had the damn spirit gun, spirit shotgun, and he made that shit work. But Yomi, you know, he got to Yomi, and there was only so much he could do.
And again, for the longest time, Goku didn't even have a special move. He just had a power pole. He just had a piece of equipment the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it worked for Bankotu.
Right? Worked for Bankotu as well. All right. So energy vision. I'm interested in energy vision.
I imagine that's being able to. I just imagine that's simply being, well, maybe not, but I was gonna say just being able to see energy emanating off of a being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say project energy from your eyes.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh, so like laser beams, but well, the reason why I don't think that's because energy blast was next. So like maybe just energy blast from the eyes as well. Whatever.
Yeah.
Dre?
Yeah, anything to say about that part? Yeah. But you know,
corruption inducement. That's the other.
That corruption inducement is pretty savage as well. That's
Dre
pretty
about to walk away
savage.
with two wins in a row here.
What do you mean 2 wins? The bug problem was a semi-win.
Oh, I meant just today. I'm sorry.
Oh, just today. Yeah, just today. Yeah, but if we're counting today, the other week, the week before that, he ain't missing. He's sitting at 4. He's sitting at 3.5. 3.5. Because bug problem was a half win. It was a long and win in the long run.
We include before that incendiary one too.
Oh shit.
so yeah. Dre's villains have been washing the heroes, guys.
And I would have to say, and again, I don't know Dre personally, but from what I'm able to take away from even then just the character cards from his characters is that he puts time. He takes a lot of time, and he tries to cover all of his bases. Like as he's creating his characters, I believe he may be putting them through every possible scenario before he puts him out there and be like, listen, he can do this. What power negates this? What power negates that? What power negates this? What trumps that? What trumps that? And in the end, essentially making characters that will win out against the best of them.
That's fair.
And and especially if you look at all these different powers, the equipment, it just really seems like there's a lot of thought and time put into these characters, into his characters before he puts them out there.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that for sure. We've had the opportunity to talk with him and interview him for his character Pantheon as well. The amount of thought and world building that goes into what he's got going on in Omni Comics, man, nothing to bat an eye out. This guy, he's and they're also part of a he's also part of the Henosis Authority, right? That's a kind of a collaboration story that a good bit of the guys in that's within the Indie Breakdown group are part of that, man. Tavis is in there, Kosis is in there, All-Star, Atridian, a bunch of characters that we see here on the database are in there. Hopebreaker is in there, if I'm not mistaken. They got some heavy hitters in there. So so the world building, the setup that they have, there is a lot of thought that's going into the characters, the villains, the story. And again, this is all, if I'm not mistaken, a part of the Pantheon story. And if you think the villains got something, check out the boy Pantheon, bro. check out the breakdown. Selfless plug, right? Check out the breakdown for Pantheon, IndieBreakdown.com. You will see why the villains need to be able to do what they are doing in order to even match the hero.
Yep. Tavis says, I got to get my villains against Dre's.
Oh, let me tell y'all something about Tavis's characters, y'all. If there's any characters that are matching and defeating Dre's characters, Tavis is the one that come with the fire, bro.
Okay. All right.
Any kind of character Betrayus, I don't think off the dome, I can't think of any characters that might be able to stop Betrayus. Dang near it all. You know, I think I might have one in the pocket, but then as I learn more about this dude Betrayus, I'm like, probably not. Probably not.
Okay, yeah, Dre, yeah. So energy vision, like you said, Lloyd, is he can see all all forms of energy emanating off of someone.
Okay. Okay. So bet.
Yep. Any energy is created under the creator. So be careful with that one there, Dre. Be careful with that one there, Dre.
So
can see energies that are is under the creator. So only energies that were created by essentially the creator within your universe.
Yeah, like because I was gonna ask when he says the creator, are we speaking about a specific creator? We talking about the man upstairs? Because if that's the case, he's fighting a character that's also can access the power of another deity. So
that's tough.
Ooh,
or is it more of a meta thing and it's the creator of the character himself? No, stop. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go there, but I was like, let me not.
What in the Gotham City plot armor shit is? Listen, man.
That's some Looney Tunes ass shit.
Look, Arale, it universe is able to do that. She's
oh yeah, sure.
Stronger.
And then Goku has limited potential for whatever reason. Bugs Bunny never dies. Daffy Duck's always on with his beak shot off. Listen, man.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Doodle Bob with the pencil.
There's some ridiculous characters out there, y'all.
It really are. And I'll put Dre in there with some of them Dre's characters in there because they are ridiculous on a whole nother level. Tavis says you'll learn more when the books drop. And
them pages been looking good. You've been dropping some stuff in the group, and pages are looking good. So
okay,
before let us know, man. I'm hoping for. Is it possible? If you could answer this, is it a 2025 drop or is it gonna be a 2026 drop, bro? Because them pages is looking good, and I need Betrayus in here to see if he can stack up against Dre's characters. Because goddamn, Dre don't miss. I don't think he's lost a match. No, that is a lie. He has lost one match. It was Pantheon versus Sir Absolute, which rematch incoming. That is the only match. But none of his villains have lost at all. Now, again, Sir Absolute is a whole nother beast. More on that in the rematch.
But again, like you said, it just makes sense because if the hero in these stories are Tavis said it's 25 drop. Okay. All right. I'm interested and invested.
What he said.
But yeah, no, if your hero, and this is a problem that I find in honestly, it's a problem that I find in Dragon Ball Z all the time. They keep making their main character stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. But when you do that, you end up writing yourself into a corner. Unless you're just a fucking phenomenal writer, you end up writing yourself into a corner where it's like, all right, now I need villains. I got to think of villains that are stronger and stronger and stronger.
Where they been all this time,
right? Because if my next villain isn't as strong as where my character is right now, then you know what I mean? There's not going to be any struggle that takes my character. My character's not going to have any character progression within this fight. You know, there's going to be no hero arc in this.
Right.
Villain's going to pop up. Hero's going to smack him down.
But that was always my argument with the whole thing with actual progressive writing versus just plot armor. Like, think about this for a second. Like, if Frieza hadn't been dicking with Goku and actually just killed him, which he could have, Goku would have never turned Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Another perfect example. Vegeta with Cell. That's why I say like I want to see characters with these breakdowns with more of their personalities, because personality plays a lot in some of these fights. I don't care how stacked the person is if they're just completely arrogant.
And that's what I want to. And our hope is that as we continue to do these and get more of the creators to join in on these Saturday videos, to be able to express that, because we want to keep these cards as simplified as possible, but we want the creators to expound on it. So, man, I hope y'all Nexus again can be anything, but man, if y'all can come here and tell us what kind of person these guys are, that's gonna go a long way.
Well, here's the other thing, and I just want to point out to the people who are on the Nexus side, when your match gets posted up in the group, get in them comments, talk about your character, who their personality, who they are, not just like, and also you can expand on some of the more obscure powers and abilities and stuff, because if not, when Saturday comes and we do the show, we're not taking that into consideration unless it's if it's in the group, if it's underneath that, you say, hey, listen, my character is an upstanding being, and if the villain had a gun to the to a innocent's head, my character standing down, we're gonna use that.
Right.
That's go. That goes. So talk to us. Get in them comments. Get all up in them comments.
To go backwards just briefly, because I love where I would go with in regards to like writing and stuff like that. I think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure did a fantastic job. Right.
Never watched it.
Never watched it. So I'm not going to spoil anything. I'll keep it vague. Right. But you had localized threat in the form of Dio as a vampire in part 1. Part 2, you had a literal, potentially world-ending event in the form of cars. We witnessed the rise of Dio again. That was really, again, get in the way of this specific Joestar family, right? But not necessarily on the same level as Cars. Dio's a problem, but Cars was literally a world-ending event. And then you go to season 4 with Yoshikage Kira, and he's just a serial killer in a town. But then some of the people from the previous season show up, and you're like, well, you stopped this threat before. Why is this guy giving you guys a hard time? But it was giving that opportunity where it's like, it's not the same type of threat. It's not the same power set. You don't have what you need to take him on because he's not what you're used to. You're used to just punching your way out of things, but you got to, you know what I'm saying? This guy is very calculating. So you could have these strong characters, but how are they acting in situations where they're being outsmarted, outplayed, and there's other factors and variables that's happening in there. And then one last comment about the Dragon Ball thing. Y'all, especially y'all know I could write a dissertation on Dragon Ball stuff, right?
Yes.
Power creep. I tell you what, I could fix Super. Now, again, whether it's canon or not, all other good stuff, I think they're all just different continuities, that nothing's canon past the last book of Z. The end, he flies off with Oob, there's nothing after, right? Everything else is other continuities. They had the perfect opportunity to reset the power scale in the fight with Moro. If they just mimicked what the Supreme Kai did to Moro in the first place and sacrificed his God Key to seal him away. So now, God Key, they've already faced Broly. They're forced to try to train up their Saiyan side of abilities. Beerus maybe loses interest and says, well, I don't think y'all gonna reach this level anyway. You take him out of the story, but he's still there somewhere. He's out there, but he's not as prevalent. The power scale is reset. How do they overcome? Now the granola fight happens, and he's wished to be the strongest in the world or strongest in the universe. They have no God Key. Go. Right? You've reset the scale. There's more stakes. He wished to be the strongest in the universe, whatever that scale looked like. How do they use strategy to overcome this threat that they are now truly unprepared for? That's how you reset the power scale and make it interesting once more, right? In my personal opinion. But anyway.
Power scale master here. All right. So let's speed through this. We actually still do have one more battle.
Oh my God.
And Dre, stop it. We get it. Yes, you won. You won already. You won.
I know we said we had 4, and like it slipped my mind that we have not done the one I was looking forward to the most. We still got one more. Jesus.
Yes. All right. So let's rock this and get. Jeez, look at this art.
It's so cold. Oh my God, it's so cold.
So cold.
So again, sorry, Damion, fire character. Unfortunately, Moloch definitely took that for sure.
Yeah, Moloch did. Absolutely. Yeah, he did. But no, again, absolutely amazing character. All right. So I can actually start closing down some of these other tabs here because
hold on. I'm sorry. So we clarified that the fallen angel took that fight.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. The fallen angel. Yeah, it took that fight. Even with the energy vision being specified that he can see all energies created by that universe's creator. Even then, Damion, he still just doesn't have the equipment or the powers in order to really handle like someone that is at equipped as Moloch. Like, from his magical relics and tools to his scythe. Well, I mean, the scythe really is not going to do anything besides physical damage because I'm pretty sure his durability had him above let's see, resistant, right?
Yeah.
He was sitting at a 6, so poisons and extreme temperatures and concussive blast, so that plague scythe really wasn't going to do too much besides physical damage. But yeah, no, it sucks. It's, man, Damion powerhouse looks like. But yeah, all right, let's see what we got here. We have Vibrant versus Atlas.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we got Vibrant sitting at a, what is that? That is a his tier.
6A. He is continent levels of destruction, or the potential for continent levels of destruction. I want to say ahead of time that I definitely made a mistake on Atlas's. The color is showing for urban, but he is definitely in the tectonic tier. Just throwing that out there when we get there. Shutting up now.
All right, we got Vibrant. Let's see here. You want to break this one down?
I do. Oh my God. Also, Emeka, bro, I had the pleasure of interviewing him. I don't have the breakdown for that yet, but let me tell y'all, this character and what he's going to be able to do soon.
Okay.
So, Drake, the boy's sitting at an 8, one of the highest that we've seen throughout this. Obviously, of course, we have characters that were up there, but 8 definitely stands out. He could lift melting megatons. He is, in regards to intelligence, a genius level intellect. Speed wise, he's at a 4, so speed of sound, right? So Mach 1 still crazy, right, in regards to speed. And I think I said it earlier, man, but again, thinking about these powers, right, we kind of toss it around, but like imagine somebody moving at the speed of sound, a person, you know what I mean? Like, it's insane. We got durability is at a 6. He can withstand poisons, extreme temperatures, and concussive blasts, and which, again, as Power stated prior to, that includes being bulletproof, having that dense skin. Regenerative is definitely difficult to be permanently injured, enhanced with efficient healing, so on and so forth. Okay, so it includes all of that. His agility sits at a 6, so he's sub-relativistic, so he's able to dodge light speed attacks. And again, comparison, right? And this might be an argument or point of contention for some, right? But Naruto going against Madara and dodging that blast at point blank range, and it was an energy attack or a light-based attack, making him, light speed. So like you could see that, if you want to make those comparisons and see how those characters move, there's kind of a visual for you guys, right? Energy projection, he sits at a 5, so long range and duration, single energy, so just one form of energy. And then his fighting ability, he sits at a 6, so he's a master of several forms of combat. And if I can just add to that, in this comic, in the first issue, he has years of training under his father, who is also a superpowered being, a superhero, if you would. So he's been doing this for a while, even before his powers manifested. So if we thought we could beat him before he had powers, no, this guy has gone through a rigorous training before he got powers. So he was him prior to, and then drop some powers on top of it. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be an absolute problem.
First off, he's going to be an absolute problem because he's Nigerian and Puerto Rican.
Right.
First off, what is that? That is,
man.
That's like Super Miles Morales right there.
Yeah, that's definitely
A 200-pound Nigerian Puerto Rican. That is crazy.
That's insane.
Oh, this man is great right here. Great. 200 pounds, 5'9", at 24 years old.
Dang.
Jeez.
Listen, that boy going D1.
In any sport he wants.
Jesus.
Any sport he wants.
Emeka said, "That's me."
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That is D1 in any sport, man. Let's take a look at his equipment. A nanofiber suit. Okay. All right. I would like more explanation on what the suit does. Do we have a video on him at all?
Not yet. Unfortunately, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Soon. Yeah, that nano suit. I want to see what that nano suit can do from powers, energy manipulation, super change,
supercharge, maybe
ability to enhance body and powers. Oh, it's supposed to be supercharged.
I think it's supposed to be supercharged.
Yeah, it makes sense. Supercharged ability to enhance body and powers and flight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And again, let's take another look at this art right here. This is great. This is great. First off, this is an amazing depiction of a black character.
Yes.
From the locks to just like the shading and the tone within the skin, man, the facial features, man. Yes, this is.
I think I said it at the beginning, y'all. With this one, this was one of the ones I was looking forward to the most. The artwork, the story, both this and Atlas are again like the almost damn near perfect embodiments of like modern superheroes, man. The fits, the art, storytelling. Damn it, dude.
Oh God, yeah, the style. The style. I'm just saying. If a modern day black superhero, they suit gonna be drippy.
And he's got it, bro. He's got the aura, bro. They both got aura, bro. Like they got it. You know what I'm saying? They nailed down what people were looking for in these characters, right? Like a lot of us are making stories and stuff like that, man. But I gotta say, between these two, I can't stop cheesing from year to year. These guys have got the sauce. They've got it. And even reading the stories, you're seeing the journey, you're seeing the struggle, and it's not too much happening. You get the world. This is a whole review. I apologize. Back to the characters. They got the sauce, y'all. Check them out. And if I could throw one plug in for the guy, Vibrant #1 is on pre-launch right now on their Kickstarter. They're part of the $1 challenge. Go to indiebreakdown.com, go to support, click on that, follow the Kickstarter, please, so that you could back it. Please. Their story is phenomenal. Go check it out.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at Atlas. Atlas here.
Atlas. Again, that was what I was prefacing. They are the same level of Tectonic. Those colors are incorrect. That's on me. I will get to that and fix that. But so where Vibrant is at continent level, Atlas is at country level. Okay, so not too terribly far off, but very comparable to say the least there. But yeah, there's Atlas.
All right, so yeah, this is here we go.
Now, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
When you go continent versus country, I'm assuming that's the level of destruction the character has, correct?
Potential levels of destruction, yes.
But how does that work when a continent could be the same size as a country?
Yes.
Or smaller?
Yeah. I think the best example that I could say, and again, best example that I could probably give is country, say, Mexico versus, I'm taking out the entire North America.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much that, right? So that would kind of be the leap and bound there of that.
Okay. And I also think we
can elaborate further. Let's talk to me.
No, so because I'm curious, because like with that, it's like how does that work? Because countries, And continent it's vary from location to location. But it's also one of those things like, for example, say you have a character who nukes a country.
Could they nuke an entire?
But even then, like say like someone nukes the United States, like you have someone who wipes out that's still going to affect Canada and Mexico.
That's true. I think if in the case of the verbiage and what we're utilizing and stuff here, it would be like, okay, yeah, you was able to wipe out the United States, but you couldn't completely wipe out. And again, semantics, right? Because you still did destroy it with the force over the aftermath or the aftershock of whatever you did with the nukes and stuff like that. But are you able to just? I'll give an example. So I think it's more of the difference of, go back to Dragon Ball. Roshi destroying the moon and King Vegeta destroying several planets with the wave of his hand, right? They both destroyed, you could argue, like moon / dwarf or smaller planetary, right? Or low planetary, if you would, versus he just destroyed several planets, right? So it's like y'all both can do something comparable, but this guy did just that little bit more. Or, I'll take it back. The difference between Roshi destroying a planet, destroying the moon versus Piccolo destroying the moon. One was completely taxed doing that. The other one was just like, okay, I did that joint, low diff, right? So it's like comparable feat, but the output could have been even larger based on what they could do.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So something like that. There we go.
Yeah. So like for Piccolo, it was easier to destroy Moon than it was for Roshi.
Right. So he has the potential to do that much more. Right, because easily triple his power at that point. So
we all know Piccolo can do much more than what they're doing with him, anyways. So
because he's black.
Yeah, it's because he's black.
Because he's black. Piccolo, let the black man fall by the wayside. But that's another story. That's another argument for later time.
So let's take a look here. So give me a sec. Let me zoom in on these power stats. Again, amazing art, beautiful artwork. Shout out to your artist for this. Amazing.
He writes and draws this.
That's that.
TJ. He's dude. Come on, man. He's got it.
Awesome.
Bro.
That's awesome. All right. So let's take a look here. So strength, we're sitting at a 5. Can lift between 25 to 75 tons. Intelligence, he's sitting at a 4. He's gifted. Speed, we're looking at a 3, which is superhuman, up to 700 miles per hour. Durability, we're sitting at a 5. Bulletproof, dense skin, can repel most weapons. Agility, also sitting at a 5, which is hypersonic, able to dodge bullets at point blank range. We're looking at energy projection here. He's sitting at a 4. Minimum range and duration, single energy. Moving on to his fight ability is a 5, master of a single form of combat. All right. Now let's take a look here. Oh man, wrong thing. All right. So he has no equipment, straight powers, hydrokinetic, cryokinetic. My boy uses water and ice, full-on waterbender.
Yeah. Here's a slight thing I'm seeing. Vibrant just barely outclasses him in every stat.
Let's take a look there. Let's see.
Well, not strength. Strength, he blows him out of the water. Right?
Yeah, blows out the absolute water. Yeah.
No pun intended, right? Intelligence, 5-4, vibrant. Speed, 4-3, vibrant. Durability, 6-5, vibrant. Agility, 6-5, vibrant. Energy projection, 5-4. Fighting ability, 6-5. Edges out on each one, save for stray. On paper right now, y'all, I'm going vibrant.
Yes.
On paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised Atlas's doesn't vary from being in the water and out of the water.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, and you know what? Have we seen that? I don't think we've seen him directly in water in the story. He's in like the center of the city, or he's fighting in a city, like a cityscape, but the amount of water and stuff that he's been able to generate and fight with, if we caught him in a scenario where he's fighting in water, Vibrant's in trouble.
But here's my thing.
In 2099 New York, so
he's hydrokinetic, which means he can control water.
Yeah.
can he generates it himself as well?
You know what?
Well, so I'm thinking that would be more of a yes because of the cryokinesis, because he has to manipulate, because like Frozone said in The Incredibles, he manipulated the moisture in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
that's still not generating the water. That's using the moisture that's already in the air.
but this was the point I was going to go with, was if he can manipulate the moisture in the air, how does he manipulate it? Does he manipulate it through his body? Does he channel it straight? Because if he can manipulate the moisture in the air, could he just cause it to rain?
Honestly, if you can control moisture, then you can probably control the water in someone else's body, and now we have blood bending.
Right?
You can control the moisture in someone's lung, drown them, or freeze. Our bodies are 75% water.
Mm-hmm.
He can just snap his fingers and freeze somebody from the inside out.
Talk about a cold snap.
Mm-hmm. Hydrokinesis involving the ability to manipulate water with the mind. It's kinesis, so it's mind. So yeah, he's channeling straight using his mind.
Yeah, I'm so you guys haven't had the chance to check out the boy Atlas. I'm double checking through comic book feats now. Yeah, he's generating the hell out this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, and here's another thing too: is he manipulating the water in his own body? Like, is he going like full Hydro Man with this shit?
Slick, yes. Like his fit. Hold on. Like it looks like he's literally creating his weaponry out of it too at the same time. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me turn my little joint off on my camera here so that I could show y'all this virtual background. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. So like, right, he's kind of chilling. He's got this fit on, what have you. No cannon in his hands, right? Where the hell? Right? So like he is like generating the heck out of his weaponry and abilities and stuff like that, not even being near a water source and blasting folks with this joint. Like he is he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be pro. So I think his whole suit, even that hood, that faux hood that he's got around himself, is water as well. So like, yeah, between the suit, abilities, and weaponry, he's got it. And again, they were fighting in the middle of a city center. So you know, yeah, he's a problem. Now, there is some additional stuff in the book. So again, this is a reckoning matchup. So if it's in the book, if it's verifiable by the feats and all that other stuff, we're going to use that as well. So again, we try to keep the cards as limited as possible, but also we're using directly what they've said, what they provided. We copy and paste what was provided on the form onto the card. That's how it happens. But I do see there was something that was missed as a power. Water mimicry answers the question that we were asking. So Atlas transformed himself to water in all different forms, whether partially or completely formed into a water-like liquid substance. In addition to taking on many forms, he possesses the ability to create or wield weaponry with a wide variety of hydrokinetic powers. And if we want further elaboration on the other abilities that are on there, of course, we got hydrokinesis and cryokinesis on here. As stated on the powers and abilities in the book, water manipulation and generation, Atlas possesses the ability to generate and convert into any state of water, including ice and gas. He can also absorb and add water to his mass, which enhances his superhuman strength, speed, and ability. And then cryokinesis is stated as proper in here. As briefly shown in Atlas Issue 1, Atlas can generate, shape, manipulate, and control ice into many frozen solid forms, including weaponry for combat. And he can also construct ice walls, shields, and defense mode to protect himself against the most powerful distant attacks. Man, you should have put that in the thing, bro. That changes a couple things.
That
puts him on another level.
Now, has he done that? Yes. To answer your question, Emeka, he did do the water mimicry because his outfit is made of the water. He has done the cryokinesis to shape that whole piece. The same image that's on the card is the part on here. But in this battle against the oh gosh, the team escapes me, and we use them for an event. Oh my gosh.
The elites. Thank you.
Yeah, sharp. Thank you. So against that battle with the elites, we do see him utilize these abilities. We see the hydrokinesis. We see all of that. Oh, the blood bending? No, not the blood bending. No. That was just
that was a speculation.
Yeah. But the rest of it, like, yeah, there was no additional water in there. I'm like double checking because especially since we said 2099 New York, I'm just looking. It's just like the cityscape that they're fighting in is very reminiscent of what we expect to see in a 2099 New York. And yeah, he does everything that he said he can do in the first issue. That's damn.
So this fight to me is going to come down a lot to creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing that makes it real, we should do this one first. Because the thing that's going to make it real hard is the fact that they both have powers that you can get real creative with.
Yes.
Now, I have to ask Emeka, when you say energy manipulation, what energies is he manipulating?
This is going.
That's my big thing. What energies is he manipulating?
Like, does he go full radiation? Could he nuke him? Is it one of those things that could he evaporate him?
Mm-hmm.
Could he grab him and like fly straight up and like throw him into the upper atmosphere where there's less oxygen, but less moisture?
Don't do space because don't put him in space because there is moisture in space. There's whole fucking giant ice chunks flowing through space.
But I'm also thinking like with certain aspects of the character, like for example, does he still need to breathe?
Oh yeah.
Well, wait, hold on. Atlas or Vibrant?
Atlas.
I don't think so because
let's see about that.
I'm gonna give Tariq a little something on this because what makes water?
Fair enough.
2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen.
Yeah.
No. 1 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. Yeah. Right? H2O. If he's able to control water on that to that level, he should be able to break it down at a molecular level and then be able to breathe this straight from the breathing underwater.
I agree, but it's also not listed that he's self-sustained like that, just like the Juggernaut. Like the Juggernaut is listed as not needing food or water, and he can because of his level of invulnerability.
Pure form energy, but the heat can increase. With his manipulation, he can absorb energy from other sources and convert it into his own form of energy. Oh, so he's just like energy converter. So you hit him with kinetic energy, he's able kinetic energy in there too. If he gets hit with like you hit him with a punch, he's able to transform that energy into a punch, like an actual blast in his punch. Or is he able to like you hit him with a gamma blast, he can absorb it and send just a regular blast back at you along those lines, because that's pretty cool. If he gets hit in the chest and then he can use that energy to convert that energy into an energy blast.
Let's see, we're thinking that's thermal, that's kinetic, that's solar, that's radiation. Like once again, that whole energy manipulation, that's a very big piece of Play-Doh that you can form to anything you want. And I mean,
let's see. Also, regarding creativity, Vibrant is just had multiple years of training, even without powers. So with powers, imagine, I'm pretty sure he can do a lot. Says hit him with a blast, he sends it back. Okay. All right. So you hit him with a blast, he absorbs it, sends it back at you.
So devil's advocate time. Devil's advocate. So I'm looking. I suppose this is page 6 of Atlas 1. I see, and I was looking at the villains that he was fighting against. In there again, the elites, specifically Derek Ellis. He has electrokinesis. Let me remove my camera situation once more so that you guys can see. Let me go back to my settings, virtual background. Okay, here we go. So this panel here, right? He's using the electrical abilities, right? He automatically opens up that cannon situation that he had before and immediately blasts him back. Very similar to what we were just discussing about shooting back that energy at the person. So somehow through that cannon. He blasted back Derek Ellis with his own move. Through somehow it's not explained, but he blocked it with that, and there was a pushback from it. Maybe it's just simply the amount of pressure and stuff that's there. But can we argue a potential using the energy that say Vibrant fires out, using this technique to fire it back at him? Could we make that argument, or maybe that's just very specific to the fact that it was so close and there was a energy buildup in that immediate vicinity that sent that pushback? Maybe he fired the energy back at him immediately, or fired some water or something at him immediately. But anyway, my question is, could we make the argument that he could mimic that same ability of taking that energy and firing it back, that kinetic energy?
I would say yes. And I would also say it depends on how he manipulates the energy. For example, like if he can cause it to radiate from his body, if he creates a hot enough aura, will the water just evaporate before it hits him?
That's what that
okay.
Like if he went to hit him with a blast of water or ice, and then he kamikazes it with the radioactive wave. Like, remember when Goku's Kamehameha wave hit Vegeta's Gallic gun?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is going to be just who's got more stamina, more power. As I said, this comes down a lot to creativity.
Yeah. Because the American he just said it right here. Just right here. Vibrant shoots, Atlas sends back. Vibrant absorbs and sends back. It's just going back and forth, back and forth. But now my question is, when it comes to Vibrant, does he send back the energy at the same output that he got hit with, or is he able to amplify that output? Is that the supercharge? So he takes in the energy, he can supercharge it and send it back.
Like throws it back with triple the force.
Yeah.
Because then that's going to be. Once he answers that question, I'll finish that statement. But I imagine all we've done is discuss the first phase of the battle. They do that, and it's just like, okay, interesting. Time to try something new, right? Now, what's phase 2? What's round 2?
Right.
Are they going to go at each other fisticuffs? Is he going to... Would Atlas... Now, this is not in the book, and man, I wish Tariq was here. Would he change the atmosphere? Maybe cause the floor to be a little icy to cause Vibrant to slip up, maybe, right? What kind of things can he do to potentially slow him down in a straight fisticuff fight, maybe?
Yep.
His supercharge will allow him to send it back tenfold. That's true. That's true. That's tenfold.
And currently, he says currently supercharged so far has no limits.
Oh.
Thus far. He said so far. So he's sounds like he's planning on putting a limit on the supercharge.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, brother. I'm not. I just have the whole thing with the World Breaker Hulk thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A character with no limits drives me just a little bit crazy. But I salute you, my brother. I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah. I will say, and America, correct me if I'm wrong, but towards the end of issue 1, we lost. Okay, there we go. Towards the end of issue 1, we did see. That's kind of spoilers, but we did see an expression of that supercharge on display, and let's just say it more than equalized the fight. There we go. That's the best way I could say it without spoiling too terribly much. Still pick up that book and stuff like that. But yeah, we get to see that in action, and that supercharge ain't no joke. That supercharge ain't no joke. So does Atlas have anything in his arsenal to survive such damage? I don't think so. No.
Another question I want to ask is also, what do we clarify as a win for the fight?
KO or death, but neither one of them are villains that are going to kill each other. So
we'll see.
Knockout, incapacitation, whatever.
Okay, because like for example, I remember a specific episode, not an episode, a specific issue where the X-Men were fighting the Hellfire Club, right? So like everyone knows what Sebastian Shaw can do,
right?
Yeah.
So Nightcrawler, instead of striking him, began wrestling him.
Okay.
And then like once he got tired out, he teleported him away.
That's smooth. Okay.
And then teleported back to the fight. And then like once Sebastian Shaw came back, Rogue grabbed him and just threw him as hard as she could.
Okay, I see. And with both of them being genius level intellects or beyond, right?
So with I was actually just looking at it as you said it. So Vibrant he's genius, and then
shoot.
Atlas is sitting at a
Gifted.
4, which is gifted.
Man, he'd see the play. He'd potentially see that play, but then also speed. Speed is going to be a problem. Speed and agility is going to be the problem. Can he pull that off ahead of time? Potential's there, but man, Vibrant again edges out on the now again, right? You know, personalities and all that would take a Atlas is very resourceful. He has that Spider-Man feel, right? In regards to lightheartedness in the battles, right? He was in a 2v1 in that first issue. So he does have a decent battle IQ, as we've mentioned for several characters prior to. Even when he got caught off guard towards the end of the fight, there was a police officer that popped up on him because, again, you know, whether it's a vigilante or hero or superpower being, stuff like that, somewhere in there the cops are like, "Hey, y'all causing damage. You cover with me." He got surprised for like 2 seconds and then got out of there again. Cop is right behind him. He got out of there again, turning into water essentially and getting the hell out of there.
No, Vibrant can fly. Okay.
So so it's tough because there's a level of resourcefulness to both of these characters. I would dare say that Atlas has been doing this longer than Vibrant. So although on the back foot, he has more experience, but Vibrant has more training. He's been training since he was damn near a kid, right? So it's different experiences.
So when did he get his powers? Like at what age did Vibrant get his powers?
In the book, he really just activated these powers.
Oh, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate with this one. So training versus experience, which way do you guys lean?
I lean experience.
It's got to be experience.
So all right, because that's one of my things. Is with Killmonger and T'Challa. Like T'Challa has plenty of fighting experience, but Killmonger's trained to kill.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got someone who's trained to fight and then someone who's trained to kill, that's not the same.
That is, yeah. Yep.
Now, once again, like we've agreed, this isn't going to be a knockdown drive. This isn't going to be like a fight to the death. So if anything, it's going to be a KO. But I don't think this is going to be so much a KO as in like who outsmarts the other one. Like if Vibrant comes in super fast, can Atlas freeze him? Like say like Atlas freezes him in a block of ice. All right. Can Vibrant manipulate his own energy to inside of his core, like the way the Flash could, and just melt out of it?
That's a good question. Now, I do want to point out, because this is we did almost overcomplicate the fight. This is based on the books that are out now, so there is a slight disadvantage overall for Vibrant because he gets his powers towards the end of that book, right? He does still have that fight training. But he does not have, again, like we just mentioned, he does not have the same level of experience to fully quite understand everything that he's able to do yet.
Yeah.
If you could potentially elaborate, because we do get a little bit, the fight ends at the end of the issue, and then we do get a little bit of stuff after, when he's chatting with his compatriots, if you would, again, not trying to give away too terribly much, but when he's discussing with them and stuff like that, there was, whether it's a couple days, couple weeks, couple hours, there's a little bit of time in between. Does he understand any depth of the powers that he has just unlocked at the end of issue 1? Please let us know, because that, again,
he says that and that supercharge was just an ounce. He barely tapped into that power. And then yes, but after reading Vibrant, you see that he quickly defeats a superpowered being after just unlocking his powers.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, your message did that too. I'm just saying.
You can play devil's advocate to that statement. And again, because I'm absolutely in love with this battle in particular, right? But it's kind of, for me, in regards to that fight, it almost was just not necessarily like almost desperation, but almost like he caught the guy off guard, right? Because it was just like, I just watched y'all. Like I have nothing to worry about, and then boom, surprise, right? Now, could he have defeated that superpower being at that point, right? 1v1, right? Not caught off guard, nothing like that. Could he have done that with just unlocking his powers, or was it a lucky shot? I'm kidding.
For example, you guys are both Naruto fans. Remember
Absolutely.
when Naruto fought Neji?
Absolutely.
Yep.
That is a perfect example. Perfect.
Hell, I'll even take it even further than that. Naruto versus Kaguya.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, Kaguya was washing them for a minute, and then he pulls out that multi-clone sexy jutsu.
Mm-hmm.
Those are off guard. Surprise. And one
Oh.
punched the shit out of her.
So what was it?
Let's see.
Impact's power is receiving kinetic energy and sending it back, which you see Vibrant gave out so much power, it overpowered that ability.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's another thing too with people who manipulate energy, because, and I don't want to overstate anything, but every power has got some kind of drawback. So like with people who absorb energy, people who absorb too much energy, it tends to cause insanity. Or if someone absorbs so much energy, you know, happens to a battery when it's overcharged, it explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if Vibrant just heated the area, would that somehow affect Atlas? Because if he can't draw the moisture from the air, or if he dehydrates him,
yeah.
I'm real split with this fight.
I guess the question is, this is a good matchup. This is a great damn matchup.
I'm so glad we saved this for last.
Yeah. I would but my question is, is Vibrant experienced enough with his powers at this point to even know that he could do that?
Right. Issue 1. So again, we know where he'll go, but issue 1, does he have a sauce? Swap out villain in there and put Atlas. Again, rework the scenario how we must as they're both heroes. But at that point, let's say his powers are triggered during the fight, however we want to say it, does he got the sauce to do what he needs to do in a fight with Atlas? Slight disadvantage. Atlas has 2 issues, but most of his feats are in issue 1. But again, even from the onset of the issue, he has seemingly been doing this for a minute.
Yeah. So I
hit the damn.
Yeah, because I feel like
oh, go ahead.
No, I feel like as long as they've got stamina, they can continue this. Now, it's going to work a lot more in Vibrant's favor because he absorbs energy.
Yeah.
So if that's the question, let's take a look at the durability then. Let's go back to the durability if that's the question. We have Vibrant sitting at a 6 in durability, which means he can withstand poisons, extreme temperatures, concussive attacks, dense skin, repels bullets, regenerative, it's hard to permanently damage him. He has enhanced healing. And then now we took a look at Atlas. He's sitting at a 5. So 5 for durability. He has that dense skin, repels weapons, regenerative, hard to permanently injure, and then as well as that enhance with efficient healing. So he heals really fast as well. So yeah.
I think I have my decision, if I'm being completely honest. Regardless of who, this is a high diff battle.
Yeah.
This is a high diff battle.
We have 2 characters who are so close in their powers and stats. But again, so we have one character, Vibrant, who he may not be experienced with his particular power, but now he has the training. Right. But now it comes in, all right, but it takes experience with that power to now meld that training with that power. It's like, all right, yeah, I know how to throw 100 1-inch punches, but now I got to learn how to throw 100 1-inch punches with the power to fucking blow holes in 6 buildings.
Yeah. So
right.
Yeah.
And
it's my fault.
Now, on the other hand, we have a character, Atlas, who has that experience, maybe not the rigorous level of training, right? Physical training, and is also sitting at like just pretty much one level below Vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
But he has that experience with his powers and abilities, but also has that experience of this superheroing as well.
Yeah.
Me, I'm, Vibrant is absolutely an amazing character. But if we're going off of where each character is right now in their own individual stories, for me, I'm leading more towards Atlas. Being able to be that creativity, especially when you're working with water, you'll see with a lot of water characters, they are highly creative. Look at Katara. She had just learned ice bending, and was already taking aspects of earthbending and melding them in to her ice bending, making the ice pillar and using and chopping it off into razor blade slabs. A lot of water characters have a natural essence of creativity about them because, what Bruce Lee say, water can flow or it can crash.
Mm-hmm.
Water's creative in itself. So I think I have to lean towards Atlas in this one. For me personally.
So Triage, you're going to be the tiebreaker. This is our first slight disagreement.
Well, here's my thing. So I agree with Power with the whole thing with the water, because when you see it with other characters from Katara to Bobby Drake Iceman to
here we go. Sorry.
Excuse me. To hell, Elsa from Frozen. I mean, it's all limited to your creativity of what you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But with energy being such a broad umbrella, from radiation to heat to fire to electricity, it's like it's always going to work back in his favor. Hell, there's a thing right there, electricity. If he's water, he could burst electrocute him. Now, because what conducts a current better than for electricity better than water?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. No.
Honestly, I'm split. I'm split down the middle. It could go 50-50.
Well, hold on. Here we go. Hold up. I think Emeka, I think he just brought me back. So with this comment, yeah. So because his parents have the same abilities and used them in battle, he received his training from those people who know the powers that he has. So, all right. So yeah, that training isn't just training. It's pre-training to the power.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all right. So
if I can add to that,
go ahead.
His dad, in moments of disappointment that his son hadn't exhibited those powers, he was kind of an ass to his son, hitting him. And his dad is considered, correct me if I'm wrong, Emeka, like the strongest or one of the strongest. I'm pretty sure it was the strongest hero in verse.
Oh, so he's on. So his dad was on some Endeavor shit.
Yes. So when it came to that durability, right, with no powers manifesting and knowing where he was, and he, again, years passed after at the beginning, you see him doing this intense training. He is ridiculously powerful. Yeah, the strongest. He, in regards to normal human terms, right, he's him. And then in that moment of desperation, in the fight that took place in there, that power activated. So if we could translate that to this fight and say, initially, right, he ain't got no powers at the start of the fight. Atlas is putting him through the ringer, right? Obviously hero, but he keeps getting back up. He doesn't seem to be taking too much damage, right? I would dare say that the strongest hero in verse might be stronger than Atlas, because Atlas isn't even the strongest character in his verse. But again, now we're talking about power scaling two other characters, right? But with the amount of power output that his dad is seemingly putting out, and him being able to survive a frustrated version of his father, again, his dad's not out to kill him or anything like that. I think he can take those strikes ahead of time, because Atlas, being a hero, is going to notice, at least initially, this is a regular guy. He doesn't have any powers. I'm not hitting you. And again, this is that personality conversation, right? He's not going to be trying to hurt him too terribly much. But but Vibrant, I imagine, is going to be like, all right, hey, I got to do what I can, whatever the reason why they're fighting, insert anything, right? In that moment of desperation, that power activates, surprising him. I feel like we'd see a a direct kind of recreation of what we saw in that issue 1 of Vibrant, where he's not expecting a superpowered attack from him, and he gets caught off guard, and we get a knockout. But again, very high diff for this version of Vibrant. Whereas if it was a true just 1v1, no shock, Atlas would take it. In a surprise, again, if we're just mimicking issue 1 Vibrant, unlocks powers mid-battle, we got a Gohan hitting rabbits, right? Type situation. And with his durability, I mean, his durability is decent, right? His durability is decent. That supercharged energy attack knocked out a pretty significantly strong villain in verse. So again, very, very, very
it's
scenario.
So yes.
But
this is very close. Yeah. You know what? Well, after reading this right here, it definitely does make a difference. In my opinion as well. Because again, I was going off of the experience.
Yeah.
So technically, his I didn't know that his his parents were also superpowered with the same power. So as parents do, they pass on their experience.
Yeah.
So all that now in my head, that training that we talked about in the beginning converts into that experience. Because now you're being trained by people who use the power on how to use the power. So now when you get the power, you're like, you already know how to use the power.
I don't know about that.
No. I mean, there is. I mean, in order for it to work, I can already see what you're gonna say. In order for it to work, his parents would have to literally explain how they use their power, how they generated, how if you want to throw a punch with this level of energy, this is how you do it. Like when Master Roshi first taught Goku how to do the Kamehameha wave, he told him you have to generate it down this arm, then generate your chi down this arm. Got to collect it into this area. You know what I mean? Go into the literal biological specifics on how to do this move, how to do that move. When you go to throw a kick, you have to focus your energy through your thigh and to your knee, you know, something and something like that. That's what I mean, how that training then generates into experience.
No, because I'm thinking in my head like when Sasuke tried to show his father he could do the fireball jutsu. And remember, like it wasn't as big, or he wasn't as proficient as Itachi was at his age. So Sasuke tried it again and again every day, like clockwork, till he could actually do it to a decent size. But my thing was, he had the ability to do it, but it's like, all right, you see what happened when he tried to use it against someone like Kakashi. Like I said, I get the whole thing with being trained, but training doesn't beat experience, especially if someone who's trained to fight versus someone who's trained to kill. So I don't know. I'm very 50-50. I'm very split about this.
Okay.
I don't know. For me, I'm gonna switch over and I'm gonna say Vibrant. Not because I'm taking Vibrant for where I hear he is at the end of that first issue.
Oh no, he's a bad man. He's a bad man.
Yeah, so I would say Vibrant at the end of the first issue. I feel like, and from what it sounds like his parents are hardcore heroing.
His dad,
like
for
Endeavor.
Sure.
Like Tank, have you Triage? Have you watched My Hero
Academia? I have not.
Yeah. So look up the character Endeavor. This is exactly what it is. So Endeavor was when the show starts the number 2 hero in the world. In Japan. In Japan. Right? Number 2 hero in the world. All Might is number 1. So the thing about Endeavor is he was a piece of shit. He was like bad. Like bad. Like the reason why the character who is his son Shoto has a scar on his face is on some like Ozai and Zuko type shit. He burned them.
Hey man, it's better to be cruel than be weak.
But yeah, that's what I'm seeing from that's what I'm getting for Vibrant's kind of training. He was trained hard, and it's like, this is our powers, this is how we use it, and when you get them, this is how you will use them. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so when that power does come in, I see it as Vibrant's like, okay. He takes that deep breath, that okay, I know what I'm doing now. No, I understand it now.
Now I understand it now.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying I think that I'm thinking that ending of issue 1, I think Vibrant will come out on top solely based off of having that rigorous training before getting the powers. Because I still truly feel that training, that rigorous training, could in turn relate to a level of experience, right? Clearly he has a long way to go before he's at the level of his parents. But I think in this fight, I think it tips the scales just enough for him to take the win. I'm not saying he's blowing this out and he's like clean sweep. I'm saying that I think that is just tipping the scales.
It's Goku the first time.
Yeah.
He caught him with the Wolfang Fist, sure. But let Goku have really gotten some work in. He's watching him. But he caught him with that last second. Caught him off guard because he wasn't expecting somebody to actually hit him with something worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, that it's definitely that we can I'm saying Vibrant. You still split?
Who, me or Triage?
Triage.
Oh.
I don't know, man. This is tough.
But we're coming up on that 3-hour mark. So
yeah, do we accept stalemates? Because I also feel like that's another
time, yes. So that hopefully next time we get Tariq in here to elaborate on some more powers, I'm leaning Vibrant. So if we want to say definitively, at the moment, it's two and 2 for Vibrant and a maybe to Atlas. It needs to be revisited and have Tariq and Emeka talk. And we used to do those, maybe down the line we'll have one where they come on and really dive a little deeper into the characters and stuff like that. But this deserves a revisit for sure.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. This is too close.
Yeah.
It's too close. Let's maybe we let the characters play out a little bit more in their respective stories, see where they are, and then revisit with their feats. I'm throwing a stamp of stalemate for now.
Stalemate. All right. Spider-Man versus Daredevil animated movie swag. All right. We fought for 2 seconds. Let's go fight Kingpin now.
Vanessa, if I cannot have you,
yeah, I'm just gonna bang. But yeah, no, definitely. I love this episode. Man, yeah, we definitely should. Yeah, that was good. That was solid. Nah, man, this is great. If they're all gonna be like this, I'm excited.
Yeah.
But now, so we have Tutu Pele for the win over Alexandria the Great. We have Jupiter Man for the win over Reaper. We have who's the next one? Oh, we have
Damion
Moloch
Moloch.
with the win over Damion. And now we have, is this your first stalemate?
It is the first stalemate.
It is.
It's the first stalemate. Ever.
And now we got the first stalemate of the Indie versus matchups with Vibrant and Atlas.
Yeah.
That was a good. That was good. That was good. We went a whole hour longer than we wanted to.
On one match. One match.
The one match took the whole hour.
That's crazy.
I got a little timer up in the corner here.
But I will say to both creators that that is the type of matches I want to be a part of. Those are the ones I want to critique because I prefer the more matched level characters opposed to someone who can destroy a galaxy. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it's just
Absolutely.
more fun.
No.
I definitely agree. It's more fun that way. And honestly, yeah, no, this was really fun because now we're just sitting there jumping back and forth. Well, because of this, what was that? Oh, and you're just looking for that one thing that can tip the scale either way.
Right.
But yeah,
So
that
good.
was so good. That was damn good, man.
This guys, if y'all, man, everybody that's watching, we truly hope y'all are enjoying these. This is what everything that we have built up so far. This is the reason why this group, but this kind of conversation, this kind of speculation, really getting to know these indie characters is really the essence of what Indie Breakdown is, how it got started. Let's learn from the creators. Let's learn from the books. You know, in comparison to the show, we interview them first, we make the breakdown, we bring them back on, let them trash talk against each other and tell us what the strategies are live, right? And so to finally get to this point with the characters in the database, I said it earlier, I can't stop cheesing, bro. Like, we're finally back to what this is supposed to be. So I can't wait. This is fantastic. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Super Breakdown being here because, man, we finally found some other folks that understands what we're trying to do here. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Oh man. Yeah, we are we are
I'm
honestly
humbled and honored.
Yes, both humbled and honored because like I said, when we first started doing what we do, this was not in our cards. This wasn't in our cards. You know, finding amazing people like you, like Lady Mandalore, like everyone else that we've ran into along this journey thus far, and really helping us grow. Because again, if you check out our YouTube, go through our episodes, you look at episode 1 compared to where we are now, the level up is real.
Mm-hmm.
The level up is most certainly real. Yeah, absolutely, man. Both honored and humbled, and we look forward to doing much more work with you, which we will be doing more work. Guys, everyone, keep your eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
Don't blink.
Right.
You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss what's about to happen next. So they're not ready. They're not ready. But nah, this community is amazing. This community is about to start growing even bigger and is about to come together just a little bit tighter. Just a little bit tighter. I'm telling you, it is. But man, yeah, with that being said, this has been the IndieVS matchup for the week. Tune in next week for what was it next week? Did we post those yet?
We did not post those yet. Hold on.
No. So stay tuned. Stay tuned on Wednesday and Friday.
Yep.
Stay tuned on Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday for your Nexus matchup, Friday for your Reckoning matchup, and then tune in next Saturday, usually around 5 o'clock. And we will let you know who is coming out on top in the Nexus arena, who's coming out on top in the Reckoning arena. Right now, I gotta say, Dre Burke is dominating right now.
Oh,
he's dominating.
He is.
Yeah.
If y'all want, I can say the very least, I can tell y'all the next, I believe what the next Reckoning Nexus matchup is going to be. And it is actually oh, I lied. No, there it is. The next Reckoning matchup. Oh, snap. My bad. I put them out of order because Alexandria the Great. Excuse me. I put Alexandria the Great on week 4. This is week 3 technically. The matchup that should have been tonight that most likely will be next week. I have them scheduled out and I might have did it in the wrong order. But the one that's most likely going to be this week, this Wednesday, is actually a rematch between Pantheon and Sir Absolute.
Ooh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch, and we'll go back and rewatch that first matchup.
Bro, and we're talking, this is Pantheon, who we talked about, Dre Burke's character, versus the creator of Jupiter Man, Sir Absolute. So that matchup, that's going to be the matchup, like this Vibrant versus that one. That one's going to be an insane matchup. That's going to be an insane matchup. So definitely, Sir Absolute won that last one. But I'm Dre, Nathan.
We're gonna need y'all. Yeah, we're gonna need you in y'all in them comments. We're gonna need y'all in the chat. So, because that's about to be a battle royale.
Mm-hmm.
But
so I hope y'all ready.
Definitely. So again, Saturdays you can tune in right here, 5:00 Eastern Standard Time, PM Eastern Standard Time, because I know some of y'all be not thinking. Yeah, 5:00 PM at night. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. We'll be back with Lloyd, and then after that, I believe we're going to be taking it away after the next round. And then on Sundays, starting back up in May, tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Super Breakdown. May is all month long Star Wars content. So if you are a Star Wars fanatic, we are calling you. The Force is pulling you to this show. Triage. What are we doing first?
Oh, if memory serves me correctly, I believe we're going over the one character who might actually be a true Grey Jedi. I believe we're going over Revan.
Yes. So please tune in, and we might have Mr. Lloyd there too, Lloyd and Tashi.
Oh yeah, especially Tasha. She the Star Wars one for sure between the two of us.
Yeah.
She just happened to, the Force pulled her. She just happened to show up at that moment.
She was wherever she was, and like, I feel a disturbance in the Force.
Right. Facts. Talking Revan on their show in May. You want to be there? She says she'll try to be there this time. It's done. I'll make sure I take care of what I need to take care of so she can be there.
Happy.
All right, y'all. Well, listen, this has been great. Again, tune in. Super Breakdown and Midnight Comics. We're gonna be doing some big things. So tune in. And then
Spiff, Jupiter Man Spiff.
Oh,
completely watched him. Jupiter Man.
Yep. Jupiter Man. Yep. Hands down. Yep. But no, man, this is great. Had a great time. We'll have a great time next week as well. So stay tuned for a few minutes after. Let's hear from some amazing friends doing some amazing things within the podcast universe. All right. And then after that, we'll see you next week. All right. So, as always, remember, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
And
midnight is coming.
Oh, well, see, I'm trying to step away from that on the indie breakdown side and say thank you guys for helping us redefine power scaling in the indie world.
There we go.
All right. Okay.
All right. So fuck prep time, and thank y'all for helping us redefine power scaling in the indie world. I like that.
Thank you. I was like, oh snap, awkward silence. I was supposed to say something. Oh no.
All right, we're out.
Are we?
Are we?
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms, where legends are born and destinies entwine. delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
Bitch, I'm